How's it going, guys? It is bright out here today. It is a beautiful day. I'm about to sneeze, so trying to start this live stream holding in a sneeze. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Wednesday. Things are beautiful out here. Welcome back to the homestead. If you're new here, thanks for joining. We got the goats chilling behind us, just out free ranging in the yard. We got the beautiful lake back here, and life is good today. It's hard to complain. I had something special delivered to the yard today, and I need to do some thinking and some planning and some strategizing, but we just added this big guy to the homestead. This has been something I've been working on for a long time. I got a 50-foot sea can delivered to the property. Now, over there is soft, so when the guy came in to deliver it, we had to leave it on an angle so that he could pull out of here and get out of here. So I'll have to come in with a machine and straighten it out, but I'm excited to have the sea can on the property. The plan with the sea can is I will first straighten it out, of course, and then this side of it is going to be roofed in. Hello, Darlene. This side over here is going to be roofed in. I gotta do some thinking, because at first I was thinking barn style lean-to roofs off of both sides. However, I want more my firewood underneath it, and that means that I'm going to have enough space, ideally, to double stack. And so if I'm going to do that, I might have to do the whole roof kind of slanted this way, so that this is the open side, so I can put tote. So we'll do some thinking. We're not going to get to that till next year, because spinal surgery, and so we'll get around to it, but it's here now and we can reposition it and play with it later. How you doing, Darlene? Happy Wednesday. We are just going to hang out for a bit, hang out with the animals, do a little live stream here, get around, move around a little bit. It's a beautiful day. Considering earlier this week and on the weekend, we had to run the wood stove. Don't mind my pile of scrap wood. I let my kids take all of my scrap wood and build little structures with it. And so the goats fortunately collapsed their little house, so they're gonna have to try again. I'm gonna have to get them some screws in my drill. But yeah, considering on the weekend we had to run the wood stove, it's like 83 degrees out here. It is smoking hot. So big changes, big changes. The goats are just lounging. Faye over here is loving the sun. It is a beautiful day out here on the homestead. I can't believe it, guys. We're up here in northern Canada, for those of you just stopping in. We're out in northern Canada, far north. This weekend it was so dang cold we had to run the wood stove, and today it's like 84, 85 degrees. I'm sweating. And Queen Mariko, how you doing? How is the Queen today? We are just enjoying the weather. We got the goats chilling, just lounging. Like I was saying, the scrap wood is just because I let my kids build little shelters, build little structures. This was a lean-to roof until the goats decide to play with it. And we'll just have to teach our children a little bit of engineering and how to build it stronger. I'm going to teach them how to build a structure that will survive the goat apocalypse. Isn't that right, Faye? Isn't that right, you big girl? We got a whole whack of the goats just chilling with us right now. Got some over there under the house, enjoying the shade. Big Daddy Orion is just trying to snooze. This is our breeder goat. This is our male breeder, and he is just chilling. Just chilling while Maple rubs her head off of an old pipe. We got the lake out here. Beautiful weather today. Perfectly calm. Yesterday, I took my children out for a walk down to the beach on the south side of the property. So we went for a walk. I brought the goats with me. And yeah, all the goats came walking in the forest. It was lovely. We had a good time down on the beach. And we harvested some edible mushroom, some flat top coral mushroom. And so I'm sure I'll do a video about that coming up soon. They taste delicious, and it was a beautiful day. And even the goats say it is too hot to be out here. They're trying to get into the shade. Graphicore says hi. Hey, how you doing, guys? We are just relaxing and chilling with the goats. Zoom that bad boy out. Get in the shade because it is hot out here. It is hot out here, Faye. Half the goats are under the house. I feel like Faye doesn't like going under the house because she's just a little too big. And so for Faye to get under the house, it's she's got to get into an awkward stretch, whereas the other ones, it's just right to squeeze under there. And Montiel says, greetings from Vaduz. I don't even know where Vaduz is. Reynolds says, any goat pregnant by you? Not by me, but this is her baby. And Bast over here is his son. And yeah, Evie, I don't think Noe, Evie, Elsa, or Maple are pregnant, but I do believe that Mimi and Oreo are pregnant. Here's Oreo. Oreo's looking pretty round. She's looking like there's 2 babies in her. She's got some thickness to her, so I'm thinking that she's definitely pregnant. And our cow, wherever she is, let's go take a little walk. Let's go find our cow. Our cow is also pregnant. We'll leave the goats behind. Our cow is also pregnant. Gabby, she's a black Angus cattle. She's in the barn, I think. Let's go chill with the ducks. Let's go see if she's in the barn. She's probably hiding from the sun. And what a cool ranch you have. Thank you, Graphicor. If you have any questions, let me know. But you know what today's big addition was? Oh boy. Today's big addition to the homestead is this bad boy. I just added a 50-foot sea can. Had it delivered this morning. I gotta come in and push it over so that it's level with the yard. And then I'm going to build a barn off of this side and just storage off the other side. And then obviously you got the whole 50-foot sea can inside. Do we have more animals, my queen? I absolutely do. Let's see if Gabby's in the barn because I don't see her. She's not in the barn. That means she's somewhere back there. But we got the ducks and the rabbits over here. Or ducks, sorry. Queen, you tell me. Do you want to see the ducks and the chickens or the rabbits first? You decide. You get the deciding vote. We're going to go hang out with the ducks and the rabbits or the chickens? The cow's going to come eventually. She's going to hear my voice and she's going to come say hi. The goats are all hanging out in the yard. We did have pigs, but they went to freezer camp this past weekend. We are going to do year-round pigs soon. And here's Lily. Lily! Sit. Lily. Sit. Sit. Lily, pay attention to me. Love me. Sit. What's got your bacon in a curl? Why aren't you sitting? Okay, no answer from the queen. So we're just going to go hang out with the rabbits for a second because we're right here. And John Cena says, dang, I thought Lily was your girlfriend. Nah, she's my puppy. If I was telling my girlfriend, sit, I wouldn't have a girlfriend. No, I have a wife and 5 children. 5 children here. And of course, Queen says, rabbits are my fave animal. Not going to lie. Well, here you go. Here are some baby bunnies and the mama. We keep dad or else because, we don't want to have continuous rabbits on the loose. Oh, boy. We dropped out of Wi-Fi. Let's turn it off. Mr. Todd says, love you, J Money. How you doing, Todd? We are just out here chilling on the homestead. Fun fact, I had spinal surgery 2 weeks ago. I had what's called a discectomy. They took out about 20-30% of my L4, L5 disc. And thank goodness they did because I lost feeling to my right leg and it gave it back mostly. I'm thinking we're going to heal. So kudos to the surgeons. But yeah, here's some rabbits doing rabbit things. What am I counting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I think that's all of them. And Reynolds says, I like to ear rabbits, and I think they mean eat. And Queen says, OMG. Darlene says, hi, Todd. So yeah, rabbits doing rabbit things. We're going to move on to the ducks because they're making noise, and I think that means Lily is probably chasing them like a little terrorist. Lily! 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 She was totally on a duck. She doesn't eat them. She does not eat them, thankfully. But she plays with them. When Lily was a puppy, when Lily was about 4 months old, she caught a duck by the neck and started swinging it around. Thankfully, it survived. But she was playing. except they don't like to play that way. And so I need to remind her every once in a while how to play with ducks. Here's the ducks. Hello, ducks. And you know what, guys? I'm gonna give you a bit of a show. We're gonna let the chickens out for the day. They should have laid their eggs by now. And they come running. Chickens. Come on, guys. That was less exciting than normal. Normally they come flying out of there. And here are the ducks doing duck things. Darlene says, you are freezing. Am I still freezing? How about now? Am I still freezing? And Capitan said, wait, where did you buy that rabbit that is black and white? We bred them. That is one of our baby rabbits. We breed the rabbits out here on the homestead. And the ducks. We hatch the ducks from eggs. These are all our little hatchlings. We've got actually, there's 4 types of ducks. So, of these ducks, the white one back here at the very back right there, that white one is a Pekin duck. I'm gonna flip you around so I can control the camera a little better because they're running away from me. The one, you know what, we're gonna get closer. We're gonna get closer. Where am I located, Randy? We are up here in the far north in Canada. We are in northern Canada. And it's a beautiful day. It's like 85 degrees Fahrenheit out here. Just on the weekend, it was hovering around 32 Fahrenheit, and we had to have the wood stove going. We had some frost. It was getting chilly. Okay, the ducks. The ducks. We're gonna spin you around so I can point out what they are. Oh boy, zoom out. Okay, this is a Pekin. These ones here, this, they are apple yards. These cow-looking ones are all Anconas. And up at the very front, these two are Buff Orpington. Matthew says, missing the cowboy hat? How's it going, buddy? I decided not to wear the cowboy hat today. I just wanted to enjoy some sun. I just wanted to get out here and enjoy the sun, hang out with the ducks, hang out with the goats, the cow, and all the fun stuff. So yeah, if anyone has any questions about these guys, ducks, they're all winter hardy breeds. They're good up here in northern Canada. They can survive our winters just fine. They lay about 200 to 240 eggs a year. I prefer ducks over chickens. It is my go-to. The chickens are growing on me. They're pretty fun, but the ducks are hardier. They stay in a group. And so when I want to round them up, oh boy, when I want to put them back in their house, I just have to walk with them and they just come over. The chickens, they like to spread out. Right now, some of them have escaped. But the chickens, right now, they're kind of grouped up. I don't know where they all are. This isn't all of them, but they like to get out of the fencing and they'll take off into the yard and they go all over the place. And you got to track them down. They lay eggs everywhere. They're a lot of fun, but they're a lot more work. Do ducks eat insects like the red lanternfly? Jose, I don't know what the red lanternfly is specifically, but yes, the ducks are fantastic at eating bugs and ticks. They will eat all the bugs and ticks. All the chickens and ducks are fantastic foragers. Let them out in the yard, and you're actually, if you let your, here, let me flip this around. If you let your animals, if you let your birds, your poultry, your ducks and your chickens, if you let them forage for their own food like this, you're going to get healthier eggs. They're going to be higher in omega-3s, better in vitamin A, B, C, and E, because they're getting a lot more nutrition and protein from the bugs. And so that's why you're going to have oranger eggs. They are actually more nutritious. Fun fact. Ellie, how you doing, Ellie? Hello. And Milano Taliano, how you doing? I hope everyone is having a fantastic Wednesday. We are just hanging out with some of the animals, enjoying the sun. We're making plans on the homestead, guys. We just got our 50-foot sea can delivered this morning. There's our sea can. And so I need to straighten it out. And then next year, we are going to build a barn off of it. And Ellie says, oh, you have ducks there? I have many ducks here. We've got like, without doing a head count, I've got about 25 ducks here. And I've got another 14 chickens. And so I'd like to continue hatching them. These were all ones that we hatched this year. I'd like to continue to hatch them so that we can grow our poultry herd, maybe up to 60, 70 birds. We'll see. Raynal says they are finding a way out of prison. I mean, I let them free range. They can go anywhere. I used to have pigs living in the forest back here. Just this past weekend, we sent them to the butcher, but the pigs were raised in the forest. You can see the difference over here. The nice thing about having the pigs on the forest side is they kept all the foxes away. The pigs were a real good deterrent. You know, they were roaming this whole area. The pigs were nice and big. They would make noise. They would keep the foxes away. Now that I don't have the pigs here, I'm going to change this fencing over to a tighter mesh. Continue this tight net fencing all the way around this area to try to deter the foxes. And Todd says, love you, J Money. Have a fantastic day. Some of us have to work. I'm off work because I had spinal surgery. So you enjoy work, my friend. I see my surgeon on Friday. We are at 2.5 weeks post-op. And so I see my surgeon on Friday, get some more imaging done, and we'll see how we're healing. But I feel pretty good. The goal, chicken. Chicken wants to come say hi. He wants to be a duck. The goal is that I can walk and stand for a half hour at a time after 6 weeks. I've had like 4-hour live streams already. We're doing fantastic. We're feeling really good. A little bit tight. I got to take it a little easy. I tend to overdo it because I feel good. But yeah, we're feeling good. And Raynal says, quack, quack. Ellie says, take care of the ducks. I'm going to sleep. You have yourself a fantastic night. It is 12:45 p.m. here in Northern Canada. Have yourself a fantastic sleep wherever in the world you may be, Ellie. We are just chilling with some ducks. My cow is somewhere. I don't know where my cow is right now. I'm going to assume she's in the far back side of the field, but I haven't seen her. And Ellie says, don't eat them. Don't worry, these are all for breeding and for eggs. None of these guys are going to hit the dinner table. These are our friends, not food. We just eat their eggs. Speaking of eggs, my kids do a fantastic job of collecting chicken eggs in the morning. Let's take a little look-ski in the chicken coop to see if there have been any more dropped since this morning. We got to take a look inside the coop. Gonna flip open the door here and we'll take a little look inside. We'll see if there's any eggs in here. There is an egg. Look at that. We got one egg. We got ski an egg ski. I'm going to, what am I doing with that egg? I don't really want to take it right now. I'll just, I'll set it here and I'll close this up. You know what I like doing, guys? Queen, you have yourself a good sleep. Good night. We're going, oh boy. We're going to close up the hutch so that the goats and stuff can't get in here and so the chickens can't get back in. And my kids love finding the eggs. And so I'm just gonna leave that egg there for now. And when my kids get home, they're just out for swimming lessons. When they get home later, I'm gonna tell them to go look for eggs and they'll be so excited when they see one. So I'm going to leave that egg. And Ellie says, prove it. Kiss one of that? Kiss what? Kiss a chicken or a duck? I'd have a better chance kissing a chicken than I would a duck. I don't spend as much time with the ducks as my wife and kids do, so they're a little bit more hesitant to be around me. The chickens, they're my homeboys. He's gonna prove me wrong. Obviously they don't want to be picked up, but they're not gonna run away. And I'm not gonna kiss a chicken. I ain't gonna do it. It's not happening. Yeah, we ain't kissing the farm animals. Not on this live stream. You gotta pay extra for that one. Just kidding. Let's just take a walk around and go, let's go for a little walk in the back field here. Let's go see our cow. Let's go find her. I have no idea where my cow is right now. I'm thinking she's still on this side of the fence. So we'll take a little walk and see if we can find a cow. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful field. It's a beautiful day. You want me to kiss a duck? Ellie, I'm not kissing a duck. I'm not going to kiss a duck. I don't even think I could. To be honest, I don't think I could pick one up. My wife can. My wife can go up to them. They're not skittish around her. She can pick them up. I cannot. If I try to pick one up, they're just going to run away. But let's take a little walk back here and see if my cow is back here. I'm hoping she is, but I don't see her. I don't see her. Gabby! Why don't I see my cow? Oh, I do see her now. Gabby, come here. What are you doing, Gab? She's just a black dot in the tree line. You guys see that? Right there. Just a black dot hiding in the trees. Right in the middle of the camera. I wasn't sure if she was in here, but she is. She's hiding in the shade. I think it's a little hot for her today. Let's go see her. And Brooke says, ducks can be a little skittish, Ellie. And Large Family Homestead says, oh yes, I want to see Gabby. And Ellie says, I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. You wanted to see me kiss a duck. You wanted to. That was your fetish for the night. But it ain't happening. It ain't happening. The cow, we can kiss the cow. The cow's nice. But not on this live stream. You got to pay extra for those ones. I'm feeling too excited today. We got our sea can. Got big plans in the future for that thing. It's going to look beautiful. My wife is very hesitant. She didn't want me to put a sea can on the property because it looks like a sea can. But my goal is by this time next year, it's not going to look like a sea can. It's going to look like a barn. It's going to look like a barn with fantastic storage capacity. Gabby, hey girl, how are you? And Brooke says, how is your back feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. Hey Gabby. Hi. I see the surgeon on Friday. I get more x-rays and imaging done on my spine Friday. And then we'll go from there. We'll get the surgeon's green light to start daily life. Or he's going to tell me, why the heck have you been moving around so much? You need to lie down for a few more weeks. We will see. But this has been a perfect fall. So I love doing mushroom videos and harvesting edible mushrooms. So let me spin you guys around so that I'm able to put this down. And so normally up here in Canada, the tough thing about foraging for mushrooms is our season is very short. We have a very short growing season for edible mushrooms. And that growing season, there's usually so many bugs that when you go into the bush, they just carry you away. But the nice thing is we have had a really nice warm summer, and then we just got hit with a blast of really cold weather, like around 32 Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius. And then it warmed right back up. So yesterday I took all my kids and the goats, and we went into the forest and we went foraging for mushrooms. We found a whole bunch of edible mushrooms. It was fantastic. And there was 0 bugs and it was really nice out. It was nice like this because we got that cold snap, kept the bugs away. Gabby, hey. The fencing came off of this post. It pulled slack. And I told my wife about this the other day. She's got to come out here and fix it. I can't because spinal surgery, but she hasn't done it yet. And Gabby's getting a little tempty with it. Gabby, I don't want you breaking out of the fence. I know the grass looks good over there, but it's not. It's not. I don't want you going over there. You have so many other fields to go to. You don't need to go into the forest. I think my cow thinks the forest looks fun. Let me see if I can just push this up and over. Oh, there. Just enough that it'll hold on to the bar, and then we'll have to retie it. I got enough tie here that I can tie it. Let's look at Gabby while I tie a fence. Let me tie this one post. And Ellie says, good day and good night. And Max the Inquisitor says hi. How you doing, Mr. Inquisitor? I hope you are having a fantastic day. Gabby is going after every little leaf she can get right now. Gabby, do I need to move you back out to the other field? I had to move her back into this field because I had the sea can delivered today. And so She would rather be in the other field, but it wasn't really an option right now. Okay, that should hold for now. She's picked this field fairly well, and so she wants to go to the other field, but I had to take a bunch of fence posts down so I could get the C-can in. So I got to put the fence post back in, put the electric fence back on, and then move her over. So I'll get to that this afternoon. I just need my wife's help for that because spinal surgery. It's a great excuse to not have to do work on the homestead. Every time there's a project that I would normally have to do, I just get my wife. I say, hey, hon, I had spinal surgery. Can you do this for me? It's fantastic, except it doesn't always get done as fast because she's busy taking care of all of our children. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice. There's certain projects there that I normally do. I normally do regularly a lot of things around here. And when I get her to do something, she looks at me like, there's no way you normally do this. And I'm like, oh yes, I do. The constant fixing of fences. She has not had to worry about fences since we bought this place. I have maintained all the fences, installed all the fences. I've done it all. All of the charge controllers, the batteries, all the wiring. Now it's on her. So it's a great learning experience for her. But let's spin you guys around. So this is the 50-foot C-can off to the left there. And so that is going to turn into another barn. I need to angle it a little bit. In order for him to deliver it, he had to drive forward and out. And so it's on an angle. So I need to push over. And then I will build a barn off of this side. On the lake side, I will build wood storage for the dirt bikes and the quads and the toys, the skid steer, to keep everything out of the sun. But I'm super excited by the C-can. I've been working on getting that over here for the last kind of 4 or 5 months. We finally got it emptied and delivered. And so now it's just to get it into position. I just had spinal surgery 2.5 weeks ago, so I won't be able to build a barn off of it this year. I know that I got to take it easy, but that'll be a fun project for next year. I think what I would like to do, oh boy, Gabby, settle, hey, good girl. The joys of having large animals when you have an injury like a spinal surgery, you can't get run over, but I'm glad she listens. She thinks I'm coming over for treats. Either treats or she wants to get out of the sun. And Freshly W saying, hey, how's it going, brother? I'm doing well. I am doing fantastic. I'm feeling good. And I think Gabby wants to see the C-can. I think she's curious about the C-can too. And NW Astro Joe says, that's a big dog. Oh yes, Gabby is a Black Angus puppy. She's a Black Angus puppy. Oh. And did something startle her? No, I think she got excited because I came over here. And I think she was thinking I was going to get treats or let her out. She heard me talking about opening the gate, but I took a lot of the electric fencing down in order to get the C-can in here today. I didn't know how we were going to do it, and so I took a bunch of the fencing down here. So I need to do some temporary fencing up to the C-can, and then in a couple days I need to shift the C-can over. I want to slide the end of the C-can over so it's in line with the fence. But yes, I have been letting my kids scooter inside of it because obviously we live in the middle of nowhere and it's all dirt roads and grass. So anytime they want a scooter, it's like an event. We got to go into the closest town, drive like an hour, and we have to, do a bunch of work in order to take them to the skate park to go scootering. So I've been letting them use the C-can as a scooter park. This afternoon, I'll bring a speaker in there and we're going to be blasting some tunes and just having a chill time. But the goal with the C-can is slide it over. On the far side, I'll cut a window into it. On this side, I'll put a door in. And then I'm thinking I'm going to roof it this way so that I've got the wider mouth on this side, lower side on this side. I'll fully enclose off this side of it on the outside to build a pole barn so I can have a second barn for the animals. This one's still not finished, but it's been a very good usable shelter. We're going to finish this up as well. But then next year we will build a pole barn off of this C-can off this side, put a bunch of different pens in there so that I can separate the animals out come birthing season. And then off this side, I'm thinking the roof has to be slanted this way so that I have a wider mouth on this side for storing all my firewood, because then I can double stack without having to worry about hitting the roof with my machine when I'm trying to put them in and out. And NW Astro Joe says cheapest garage you can get. They're fantastic. Honestly, these sea cans are a treasure. I love them. They're fairly accessible, and you can do so much with them. The goal with mine is to paint the whole thing chocolate brown. I'm gonna put wood siding on the other side, and we're gonna make it not look like a sea can. And Happy Chicken says, hi from Texas, y'all. And MK Knife Making giving us the hello. How are you guys doing? I hope you are having half as fantastic a day as I am, because I'm feeling really good. I'm having a fantastic day. And if you're having half as fantastic of a day, that means you're having a really good day too. And that is what we are chasing for. I hope everyone here is having a good time. And guys, go check out NW Astro Joe's YouTube channel. That man is doing some awesome space footage. He's got a lot of good video footage of the sun with some high-powered telescopes. I am trying to encourage that man to post more of his content on here, because I follow him on TikTok, but I want him to be posting more on YouTube, because I don't really use TikTok and I want to see his footage. So guys, go check out NW Astro Joe. If you're into space content, I encourage you to subscribe to him. And yeah, Astro Joe, post more on YouTube for me, because I love to see it. And Happy Chicken says it is cleaning day. Are you cleaning out coops? Is it coop cleaning day or house cleaning day? Gabby, oh, my big puppy. She is such a fluffy girl. She's a good dog. You're a good dog. Oh yes. See, this is the breed of dog you need up here in northern Canada. You need these jumbo dogs, so that the wolves and the coyotes can't get them. Great farm dog, great farm dog. Georgia says hello, and NW Astro Joe says I am starting to build my observatory soon. Get some video footage, my friend. Take some videos of it. Gabby, 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 Gabby! Don't push through the section of fence. I haven't put it up yet. That's like this afternoon's project. It is so frustrating being handicapped with a spinal surgery, because I can't do anything right now. And so I would have this fence built 3 weeks ago, but I can't right now. And Ramirez says, do you eat her, or how do you do it? Do I eat my puppy, my big farm puppy? Just kidding. She's a cow. She's a black Angus cow. And I don't eat her. Gabby is a breeder. She's pregnant right now. And so she is not for food. I plan to keep her around for the next 15, 20 years. So she is our breeder cow. We've got 2 more heifers that we purchased. We'll be getting those in another month or so. So she's black Angus. The 2 that we bought are shorthorns. And yeah, that's Gabby. In fact, all of the animals you see right now are all kind of for some sort of purpose other than eating them themselves. The chickens and the roosters, they're for eggs. The ducks over there are also for eggs. We had pigs, but they are now in freezer camp. The goats, I don't even know where the goats went. The goats took off. The goats are for milk and reproducing. We breed all the animals out here, and that way we can resell the babies. Or if people do want to butcher them, we can resell them fully grown for food. But yeah, our freezers are full, so these guys aren't for us. And Happy Chicken says it's the chicken coop and quails too. The chickens and quails are being cleaned out. Guys, if you guys like my chickens, if you guys like my ducks, go check out Happy Chickens on YouTube. Click on their channel and check out their content. They've got a lot of really good close-up footage of all of their coops, all their setups, and all of their chickens and quail. So go check them out. And our friend says, hello, people. I am from Ukraine. Hello, friend. I hope you are having a good day. I hope things are calm and peaceful in your part of Ukraine. I hope you are doing well. And Ramirez says, awesome. I got chickens and city fined me. Womp womp. Yeah. We lived in a city before, and we started doing rabbits, but we waited to breed them until we came out here. So we had a few rabbits just as pets, and then when we moved out here, we let them breed, and we started breeding them here. but it was the same thing. Technically, we weren't allowed to have rabbits in the city. You know, city bylaws are a pain. What has got you all hyped up, Horntail? This guy's Horntail. This is our rooster. This is Horntail. But yeah, I hear you, Ramirez. It is frustrating when city bylaws stop you from doing what you want to do, especially if you're going to keep it harmless. I understand that people sometimes, depending on where you live, chickens, if you don't keep the coops clean and you have too many birds for too small of a space, it can get smelly. And so I get it. You don't want to have, you know, a neighbor's yard that's right beside you that's too smelly. In a lot of places up here in Northern Canada, they'll have certain bylaws in place where if you have more than a certain amount of land, let's say more than 2 acres, then you are bypassed from certain animals like chickens. Because, you know, as long as you keep them a certain distance off the property line, they're not a problem. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're not that bad. I think if you're going to have a bylaw around having chickens or ducks or anything, it should just be a hygiene thing. Keep them as central in your yard as possible to reduce smell and just keep it clean. Ain't that right, Gabby? Just keep it clean. Every time I come into a space like the barn here, I got to do a quick look around because sometimes the chickens lay eggs in the funniest places. Because I let my chickens free range, we'll spin you guys around while we're chatting. We'll get Gabby in the background here. Because I let the chickens free range, we end up with eggs kind of scattered all over the place. I currently found an egg in their coop, in the nesting box where it's supposed to be, but I didn't harvest it yet because I want to save that for my children. My children are just out at their swimming lessons right now. And so when they come home, I'm going to ask I'll probably let my 3rd oldest son, my 4-year-old, go look for that egg because it's nice, easy, accessible, right there for him to grab. And I think he'll be really, really excited to just reach in there, find that egg, you know. It brings them a lot of joy. And so no point me harvesting it because I can do that. That's something that's easy to do to bring a child joy. It is fun though when we're just finding random eggs in the barn, on the roof rafters. Because we never clipped our chickens' wings, they can fly. And so every once in a while you'll find a chicken up in the roof. And sometimes there'll be an egg up there. And Ramirez says, thanks, good luck with your recovery. I myself have a broken arm at the moment. Shout out from Washington. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. If you're squeamish, close your eyes for 2 seconds. I had a spinal surgery right there in the middle of my back. And they cut out 20 to 30% of my disc. So between all your vertebrae is that squishy, kind of silicone-y disc. Mine was blown out. I heard it 13 years ago playing hockey. Just hockey with the boys. It wasn't even like a pro league. And it's been giving me grief ever since. It finally got worse and finally blew out on me. So we had surgery 2.5 weeks ago. The fantastic thing about this was I was supposed to be bedridden for up to 6 weeks. After day 2, I stopped taking pain medication. I was fine. Every day with for the last 7-8 months, I was probably living around a 6 to 8 out of 10 on pain every day. It was just my baseline. It just hurt. It just hurt all the time. I ignored it. I'm not a painkiller guy. I just ignored it, learned to live with it. And so after the 2nd day post-op, I realized the pain wasn't that bad. So I stopped taking the painkillers. And I've been up and about every single day. I think 2 days after having surgery, I was already live streaming again. Just the other day, I think on like day 10, I did like a 4-hour live stream. And so we're feeling good, considering I was expected to be bedridden. Yeah, the incision is only maybe 2.5, 3 inches. It's not bad. What the surgeons can do nowadays is fantastic. Small incision, going in there with a camera and going in there with a knife. Actually, I'm going to talk to the surgeon on Friday, but I think what he was saying is he doesn't even use a camera. He goes in there and he feels the disc, and then he just takes the knife and cuts along the bone, and he cuts it all out and then and rounds it off. But I think it's all by feel. I don't even think they go in there with a camera. But the beautiful thing was immediately after surgery, the pressure in my back was gone. I felt way better than I did before. And then the feeling in my leg. So I had lost feeling in my right leg. It's mostly come back. I had a really good day yesterday. It wasn't until the end of the day that my legs started going numb, but every day is getting better. Derico, how you doing, my friend? I'm pretty happy. I'm healing pretty quick. And Happy Chicken says, wow, how old are you? I am 33. I'm still a young pup, but It was an old injury from a long time ago. I know the nurses and doctors were a little bit shocked about how bad my back is. That's just life. I mean, you hurt yourself, you hurt yourself. It is what it is. Cali chickens. How you doing, Cali? We've got happy chickens and Cali chickens back to back. I've got my chickens over here. Well, we're having a chicken party. We've got all our friends out for the chicken party. And guys, I got some fun news for you guys. This is kind of exciting for me. I have a sneaky suspicion. So we've been monetized for about a month on YouTube and receiving donations. We're at about 1,900 subscribers. We're up there. But we've just been getting donations from now. And officially, next week, we will be getting ad revenue as well, which is a lot of excitement because we do a lot of shorts and long form content too. And it's just fun. It's fun. It will not be making us millions of dollars. It'll be making me if we get to a point where I'm making a coffee a day, I will be a happy camper. But exciting news, YouTube sent me the email. The way YouTube works is it lags behind by about 5 days, but they gave me an email that we are good to go. Our AdSense is getting set up as we speak. So by next week, we will have full ad revenue, which is exciting. It's fun. And Cali Chicken says, yeah, I just got monetized last week fully too. Cali, fist bump. Boom. Awesome. Cali, I don't think I've checked out your channel yet. I feel like you're a returning viewer, but I don't think we've crossed paths too many times. I'm going to give you a challenge, Cali. Can you comment on any one of my videos when you're done here? And that's going to make it really easy for me to come back and find your YouTube channel. It's a little harder to go through the live chat and try to find people. But if you comment on one of my videos when you're done here, I will be able to find you and I'll be able to subscribe and check out your content too. I love seeing what other people are doing. I find we build a better relationship when we can check each other out. Callie says, I already did. Oh no, please do it again and I will find you. I will find you in a not creepy way. I will find you in a not creepy way. Thanks, Callie. I might already be subscribed to you, but I don't think I am. I know I am subscribed to Astro Joe and Happy Chickens and a bunch of people on here. But Callie, comment again. I will confirm if I am. And I love to see what you get up to. What kind of content do you focus mostly on, Callie? Is it Callie as in your name or Callie because you're in California? We're going to hang out in here where it's cooler with the cow. I understand why she's in the barn because the barn is like 10 degrees cooler than out there. Eddie, welcome back to the chat. Eddie, how are you doing, buddy? And Callie says, mostly a coop cam, only sometimes taking ones like you do. You know what? These vertical live streams work really well. When you're doing your coop cams, are you doing them as vertical lives or are you doing them just as shorts and long forms? The vertical lives do well. I find you get better interactions when you're on camera with people. That's just my experience. I find if I'm not interacting with you guys one-on-one, I get a lot more trolls in the chat. Sometimes, you know what's an interesting thing? When I'm with the animals and we're talking about the animals and we're having a good time, everyone is wholesome. Everyone's, I try to play off the trolls and usually they respond cheerfully if I take it positively. But when I'm just sitting around, like if I want to have just a hangout coffee live stream, the trolls come out in full force. It's a wild time. Sometimes I enjoy that because sometimes it's just fun to interact with the degenerate side of YouTube, but you got to be so much more careful. It is so much easier to get yourself in trouble on here when your chat's getting flooded by the trolls. But yeah, this is always a wholesome good time. And Callie says, just Callie from California. I don't say my real name. And vertical always, I actually get more views from non-talking lives. And thank you, Matthew, because Matthew said, I've subscribed to your channel, Callie. Yeah, I don't know. You might, maybe you get, I generally am always on here. I don't ever do just an animal cam. The other day, I didn't want to end a live stream, but I had to step inside to go help with something. So I just left it on the ducks and then came back out. And so it's nice not ending a live stream, especially if you're doing a multiple hour live stream. I don't want to end it and then restart. So it's kind of nice to keep that train rolling. But I don't know. See, I do the live streams because I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy interacting with you and hanging out and just socializing. So to just do the coop cam. I mean, I know some people who do it because it gets you the watch hours. It does help with the watch hours. I mean, we're gonna go hang out with the rabbits for a second. Who doesn't like to see baby rabbits? The goats are MIA. I lost the goats. I'll have to go find them later. I took my goats for a walk to the beach yesterday. So my goats got to experience the beach for the first time yesterday. Here's some bunnies. Bunny, 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 bunny. And so I can see how this angle here could be pretty good to watch. I could see how people could get into just watching some rabbits. Callie, what you said when you're doing talking live streams, you get less views. When you're doing your coop cam, are you out there chatting with everyone, or is it just the animals? And are you serious as goats are decent people? Goats are the greatest of all time, I'm telling you guys. The goats are my favorite homestead animal. The bunnies are cute, but unfortunately, I am allergic to the rabbits, like very allergic. I can be in the barn, this is fine. But when I pick these little cute bubbles up, I break out in hives. And so I can't even hold the poor guys. So they're cute, but they're my wife's animal. They're my wife's animal. We got this guy hiding back in the corner, 2 there. There's probably a couple in that box because they don't look like they're all here. And yeah, the rabbits are adorable. And Callie says, just the chickens. And I'm in the chat on a second device chatting with people. That's a nice way to do it because you could be sitting in your house enjoying a coffee while everyone's enjoying the animals. That is not a bad way to do that. Callie, can you help me? Do you know, is there a way, Callie, if I'm not on a second device, to gift out memberships? I know that as a content creator, I can give away 10 free memberships a month, but I have no idea how. I think I have to be on a second device. I have no idea how to do it while I'm streaming. Is this the thing you know? Somebody help. Otherwise, yeah, rabbits. They are adorable. I'm a big fan of the all-white ones. The all-white ones, like the mom here. For me, whatever, that genetic, that gene trait, they're just a really beautiful rabbit. But a lot of people, when I ask, what's your favorite? They're liking the multicolors. They're liking the polka dot ones. I don't know, man. To me, it's like the all black, all white, and even these peppery ones that's hiding back here. We're not getting a good angle of this guy, but these peppery ones are cute too. But a lot of people prefer these brown ones and the spot ones. So you guys tell me. I'm gonna throw up a quick poll. Favorite rabbit. We're gonna go white, multicolor, or black, or gray. And based on what you guys see here, oh boy. See, a lot of guys like this little guy here in the corner. This kind of black and white cow-looking rabbit with the black over the eyes. We got the hiding in the corner, the all gray one. We got the pure white mom and the pure white baby. We got some hiding in the corner, the brown ones, the brown gray ones. I don't know. I am personally a fan of this guy. Maybe even this guy down here. We got 2 votes for multicolor in the chat. I'm telling you guys, a lot of people prefer this. I think I need to rethink my breeding strategy because my breeding strategy has always been more try to get these pure white ones. These pure white ones or pure black ones. But I think I'm just a freak because a lot of people prefer these multicolored ones. And Happy Chicken says, Callie Chickens, I need tips too. I'm new in this YouTube. Thanks. And Happy says, the rabbit with the black mustache is cute. I mean, I'm still new. I think me and Callie are around the same point in our YouTube journey here. But if you have any questions, I mean, for me, I was doing YouTube for about 2 years. And it's really been the last, 5-6 months that things have, well, since May, since it really took off. But I got my legs under me the last 6 months. And so I think in the we're at 1,900 subscribers, and we've gotten, I think 1,500 of that in the last 6 months. So it's always a learning journey. I do have set up a Patreon, a free Patreon account with a free chat room. And so if you guys ever want to go out onto my Patreon and just ask questions, if you want any advice or tips, whether it be YouTube related or homestead related, that's a good spot for us to get together and chat. Also, I'm active on email. So I've got a bunch of people who email me. If you guys want to email me, just click on my my username, go over to my main channel page, and you guys can see my email address and you can email me. Let's get in there and hang out. And Matthew says, I make a very large smoothie and there will be a lot of different things: oats, yogurt, protein powder, butter, mini sour apples, and more. Butter in your smoothie. I've never put butter in my smoothie. I have never tried that. And Callie says, I got 400 subs in the last week. My channel just blew up. It's crazy. Good for you, Callie. That is exciting. That is exciting. We're getting around 200 a month right now, 300 a month. So yeah, it's nice when YouTube clicks. It's nice when it works. Of course, I think most of us small-time people have done enough homework to realize that this is not a career. This is a enjoyable part of our hobby. When we're already out here doing things like homesteading, just adding the YouTube to it, for me, that actually improved my relationship with the animals. I spend so much more time hanging out with the animals while I'm filming and live streaming and just chilling and talking to you guys. And so for me, this has just been a nice addition. This has been a nice addition to stuff we're already doing. And Callie says, I like meeting new chicken people. Chickens are probably the most accessible animal as far as homesteading goes. I am more of a duck guy myself. I prefer these guys. These are my duck babies. The reasons I prefer ducks over chickens, they are definitely harder in their first 4 weeks. Their first 4 weeks, because they are wet food eaters, you have to have water and food together with them, with their beddings, and they're sloppy, they're messy, so they're stirring it up lots, they're making a huge mess, it gets smelly, you got to clean it out every day. And so they're messier when they're little, but once they get bigger, and you could, just have your pools going, you can have your pools going and stuff, they become a lot easier. And they're just so nice, they're friendly, they don't fight with each other, they're cute. They provide a lot of eggs. You're still going to get 200 to 250 eggs a year out of these guys. More if you live in a southern climate, just up here in northern Canada. It gets cold and they stop laying when it's really cold. But I like the ducks. They're so much easier to put in and out in the morning and night because they all stick together in one big group. So you just open the door and they all walk in, whereas the chickens, I find you always got a few stragglers you got to go find and get in. The ducks don't fly. Unless you get Muscovies, but Muscovies are a whole different animal. They're a challenge. Muscovies are difficult. Here's my Muscovy story for you. Muscovies are big black ducks. They've got a red face, big black ducks, and they can fly. I had someone who had 2 Muscovies that they didn't want, and so they gave it to me with the purpose of raising them for meat. They were not to be pets, they were to be raised for meat. Muscovies get bigger than the other ducks, so they are a good meat bird. I didn't do any homework. It was literally like a Tuesday. The guy was like, hey, I got these 2 ducks. I don't want them. Do you want these free ducks? I'm giving them to you for free. And I don't say no to free animals. So I got these 2 Muscovies and then I worked with them. I spent a lot of time with them. They were doing good. They were starting to amalgamate with these guys. And then one day they were gone. Both of them. They were just gone. This was like 2 weeks in. So I had these Muscovies for 2 weeks and then they were gone. And I went looking in the forest. I thought maybe they slipped out the front gate. And so I went looking in that forest. I looked everywhere for about a day and a half, and I had to just assume the worst. I had to assume the Muscovies got picked up by a fox and were gone. About 3 days later, I saw 2 black things out on the lake. And so I hopped in my canoe and I paddled over, and sure enough, it was the Muscovies. They got out into the lake. And so I went over there, I got them. It was a fight. I had to chase them to shore and then catch them on shore. I eventually caught them. I picked them up. I brought them over here. I put them down. They were here. Next day they were here. The day after that they were here. The day after that, one of them was gone. I saw the other one fly and land on the roof of the log cabin, and that's the moment I knew they could fly. And that explained why they were getting out on the lake. And so they were out enjoying their best life out there, but here's the problem. It was the fall, and it was hunting season. And there were people starting to, this is kind of a private bay, a private lake, but people know about it, and so they'll come into public land accesses and they'll launch a canoe or something, and they'll come out here and they'll hunt for ducks. And so as my ducks are out there and I'm hearing the odd gunshot going off in the background, I'm thinking, I'm not raising these things and feeding them and trying to take care of them for someone else to eat them. And so I went and harvested them. And so no more Muscovies. I'm not gonna do it again. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I like my ducks flightless. I like my ducks that can't fly. Now my chickens, I did not clip any of my chickens' wings. They all can fly. And I don't mind that. The chickens don't like the water. They're not going in the lake. I have a very unique property. My land here is a peninsula, meaning the water goes all the way around. It goes on each side of the property, all the way back there, wraps around. And so I have no neighbors. And so the animals, if they go into the bush or they fly around the yard, they're not disturbing my neighbors. They're not going to get into the neighbor's yard. They're not going anywhere. So because my property is isolated, I can let all the animals free range. I don't even know where my goats are right now. For all I know, they went to the beach. I have no idea. I should probably go find them. But yeah, it's a lot of fun here. It's a perfect location to be raising homestead animals and allowing them to free range. And so because of the uniqueness of the property, I mean, I got some of the chickens are just chilling over here. But then I saw a hen way over there. Some of them, I'm sure, forest, because there's one way over there. See behind the propane tank. And so yeah, I just kind of let everyone do their thing. They're living their best life. Now, small asterisks. I am fencing in this area here. I'm fencing in this perimeter area, and I'll put a gate over there. But that is not to keep the ducks and the chickens in. That's to keep the goats out. The problem is I can't leave the, I got a bunch of chickens in the barn. I can't leave the chicken house, the chicken door open for the chickens to come in and out as they please, because the goats will go in. And then the goats like to eat the chicken food. And the chicken food is not good for the goats. It's too high in soy protein. And so it upsets their tummies. And so, yeah. See, the chickens are everywhere. I got one over here going in the skid steer, because why not? I got a couple in the barn. One's going on the cow, I'm sure of it. This one wants to go on the cow. She's eyeing up Gabby. She's thinking about it. I love it when I see a goat or a chicken riding on the back of a cow. Oh, that one was up on the roof. Roof or wall, I didn't see it. It just flew down. See, this is why I got to pay attention to the chickens a little bit though, because they'll come in here and they'll lay eggs in the weirdest spots. I swear we only actually are successful at harvesting about half of our eggs because we let the chickens kind of free range and run around, and they'll lay eggs in the weirdest spots. The goats will get to them. The dog will get to them. The dog has discovered she loves eating chicken eggs. And so if the dog finds an egg before we do, it's gone. She'll swallow the dang things whole. And the goats are goats. They're going to stomp on them and then lick them up. I think Gabby's indifferent. She's not going to eat any eggs. Isn't that right, Gabby? And Matthew said, you missed my last comment. Matthew had said, peanut butter looks like emojis. Peanut butter looks like emojis. Matthew, what's that mean? There's a chicken riding on the back of a cow. I'm waiting for my Dr. Seuss moment of the cow, and then a goat on top of the cow, and the chicken on top of the goat. We've come close a few times. We've had the goat and the chicken, but I need the pyramid. I need the Dr. Seuss moment. check the emojis. Shoot me the peanut butter emoji, and I will look at it. I can't actually text on here from my same device. I have to be logged into a separate device if I want to join the chat. As far as I'm aware, unless I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, I can't actually type on here, which is unfortunate because it would be nice sometimes to be able to just throw a text into the chat. But oh well. Let's take a little walk around and try to find let's try to find a goat. They're probably out on the deck, or they went down the road a little bit. I don't know. And peanut butter looks like emojis, and he threw out the peanut butter emoji. Matthew, I still don't know what we're talking about. And here's the goats. We're gonna go see the goats down by the lake. And Happy Chicken says, my son wants a cow, but my place is 2 acres. I believe is too small for a cow. My mom has milking cows. 2 acres is enough for 1 cow. I believe it's around 1.5 to 3 acres per cow. If you're bringing in extra feed for them, I just got a text just now, which is fantastic. I have a truck that's a crane truck. It's got a big lift arm on the back, and it was in for some work. And I just got a text as I was reading this that it is fixed. It is ready to go. And so I can have someone go pick it up for me, and I can put that sea can in the right spot. So this is fantastic news, guys. But let's goats. My goats. Hi, goats. I really got to pick that solar panel up because I don't need the goats on the solar panel. The pigs were in this area of forest. I've turned this. Hey, don't eat the wire. You've already broken the wire. Why are you guys eating my wires? I'm gonna have to fix that later. Hey. Oh, let's try to pick this up so that you guys don't stand on it. I got to put all this stuff away because the pigs are no longer here, and so I don't need to have electric fencing set up in this area. So I got to take it all down. I'll pull all the posts out of the ground and take the electric wire down, repurpose it, reuse it somewhere else. Next year, when I do year-round pigs, I am also going to raise them in the forest, but I'm going to move them down further. So I'll put them further down the forest so they can clear out another section. So I can take all this down so I can move the pigs over. And Matthew said, peanut butter is it better? You haven't read any of the emojis in the comment. Sorry, it's hard to see with the sun. It is very bright. So trying to read the emojis, and they're this big on here, is tricky. And Matthew says, I'll make a very large smoothie and there will be different things in it. Oats, yogurts, bananas, pineapples. I think that's a mango, apple, pears, peaches, strawberries. I think that's water, carrots, and milk and protein powder. Peanut butter, that's... Okay, Matthew, this all makes sense. It is all, we have come full circle. We have come full circle. I skipped the emojis, and so when I was reading your chat, I thought you were putting just globs of butter in your smoothie. Peanut butter. We're back. I'm on the same page. I am no longer dissonant. Blueberry. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, it's a beautiful day out here. It is smoking hot. The lake is nice and calm. There's a subtle breeze out here, which is just right. I finally got around to moving my sailboat. It's now way down there. Right there. It was in the middle of my yard for way too long. I was planning on getting the sails up and going this year, and I just never did. Yeah, it's set in the yard all year. I finally moved it out of the way because I had to get the trailer in to get the pigs. It's been a busy couple of weeks post-surgery. Life doesn't slow down just because your body does. But that's okay. This is life. It's beautiful. I like it. And Matthew says, and now I can enjoy a cherry cheesecake. Smoothie and cheesecake for lunch. That sounds delicious. What did I have for lunch? I had leftover supper. I had some spaghetti with homemade hamburger helper and some mashed potatoes and carrots. That was my lunch. For supper last night, we did steaks and freshly picked wild edible mushrooms. And so I picked a whole whack of edible mushrooms. I took my kids and my goats out for a walk in the forest. I'm gonna do probably a long form and a short form video about that adventure. I did do one little short form video, but I took them all for a walk out in the forest and we had a jolly good time. We picked a bunch of mushrooms and then I cleaned those up and fried them up for supper on top of my steak. I think we're at about that time where I wanna go for a little walk. So we are going to leave the goats behind and we're gonna go for a walk down the road. We're gonna see what we can see by the bottom of the deep blue sea. We're gonna put you guys in a handheld and we're gonna see if Lily wants to come for a walk with us. I gotta keep moving a little bit for my back. A lot of this standing around kind of hurts, so moving around is a bit better. So, Lily! Let's see where Lily's at. She's probably hiding under the house because it's hot out here. Lily! Come on, Lil. Let's go for a walk. We'll see if she wants to join or not. Lily! I don't think the goats are following us. No, we're good there. Lily! Come on, Lil. Come on, Lil. Let's go for a walk. I don't know where she is. Lily! Lily's MIA. Lily! She's normally hiding under the house, but I don't see her. Come here, Lil! There she is, Lily! I was looking for you. There she goes. And Happy Chicken says, I have to go. It was nice being here. Goodbye. Take care, Happy Chickens. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. The goats are kind of following me, but I don't mind bringing the goats for a walk south, but I don't want them to get used to coming north. So if they do come, we're gonna cut into the forest. I don't know if they're gonna follow if I don't call them with me. We'll see what happens. It is a smoke show out here. We are getting hot. Okay, come on, goats. They're coming. The goats are coming for a walk. Come on, goats. We're going to go through the trail. Lily. Lily, we're going this way. Lily, come here. The goats are coming, so come on, goats. Come on, Mimi. We're just going to go out walking our goats in the woods. They'll clean it up a little bit for us. Lily, come this way. We're not going that way. Lily. Check on my solar panel quick. We're putting out 1.7 kilowatts. We're at 12.3 volts on the battery. That's good. Lily, come on, Lil. This way. Come on, goats. Come on, Mimi. Come on, goats. Let's go for a walk. Oh, the grass is too delicious over here. Lily. Come on, Lil. I need the dog to come this way. The goats are coming. They're coming. We'll get them into the trail where it's a little cooler. Come on, goats. Goats are a lot like dogs. For those of you who are watching who don't really know much about farm animals, goats can be raised a lot like dogs. Easily distracted. Lily, come on. But so is Lily. Lily thought I was taking her for a walk down the road, so she went that way. Here she comes. But we're going in the bush. Come on, Lil. We're going this way. Here she comes. Here she comes. Lily's living her best life. Oh, there you are, Lily. Yeah, we want to go that way. We're going into the trail. Come on, goats. Come on, goats. I want the goats to follow us. I want them to clean up some of the leaves in here. Oh, that's better. A little cooler in here. Come on, goats. Mimi. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Mimi. They're so easily distracted because I got them in the tall, delicious grass. I might just have to leave them there. We're going to take a little walk in the forest here. And while we're here, we're gonna keep our eyes open for any edible mushrooms. And maybe I will teach you guys a thing or two if I find a thing or two. It's a perfect time of year up here in northern Canada. The weather is still hot, but the mushrooms are doing very well. And so if you guys have any questions about mushrooms, by all means ask. You know, I'm only going to be knowledgeable about my local area for the most part, but I know a thing or two about a thing or two. And I enjoy coming out here and harvesting wild mushrooms. Goats, are you guys coming? They're slowly getting closer, but they're not following me because I think they like the grass. Lily's chasing a squirrel. I can hear a squirrel going nuts back there. She actually caught one the other day. About 2 weeks ago, she caught a squirrel. Goats, are you coming? I think I lost them. I don't think they're gonna come. That's okay. Lily, where'd you go? You're hunting that squirrel? She is, I can see her in the bush. She's way in there though. She is deep in the forest. She's on the prowl, trying to get a good angle of her. You probably won't be able to see her in there. She is way back there. But welcome to my forest. The mushrooms back here have been really good. Out here, we've got lots of lobster mushrooms, a few violet chanterelles I found, and we also have some saffron milk caps. Saffron milk caps. They're a really cool mushroom. I'm going to be doing a video about saffron milk caps soon. The nice thing about the saffron milk cap is the closest look-alike is the false saffron milk cap, but it's also edible. Where with most mushrooms, the false version is not edible. In this case, they are. And they're also pretty tasty. So it's a safe mushroom to harvest, easily identifiable, and delicious. So we'll see what we can see. And cluck chickens. This has been a bump in chicken live stream. How you doing, cluck? We've had Callie's chickens, happy chickens, and now cluck chickens joining the chat. And then I was hanging out with my chickens earlier. Now I'm just going for a little walk in the forest. We're gonna walk through here. I downed all these trees last summer. These trees here. Bucked them up, and I was planning to drag them out for this year's firewood. However, I just had spinal surgery, and so I'm not able to do this heavy lifting and stuff right now. So we're gonna let this wood sit for one more season. It looks so good though. It looks so ready to burn. I have a lot of big wood back here. Like a lot of trees, a lot of logs. I got a bunch of them just downed, ready to get dragged out of this trail, straight back, straight through. But they'll have to wait one more season, I guess. And mainly off grid, welcome back to the chat, says, what's up? We are just going for a little walk in the forest here. Gonna loop back around the field. And yeah, we're just recovering from spinal surgery. So feeling good, feeling pretty dang good. I hope you are doing well as well. It is a perfect time of year for foraging mushrooms. Right here, I'm gonna show you guys some edible mushrooms. You see right here, this little finger, this guy here, and one right there, that is called flat-topped coral, flat-top coral. It is both edible. This guy here, I'm trying to see if it has teeth. So it doesn't. So this guy here is probably non-edible. If it had teeth on it, that would have made it a hedgehog based on the color, but it doesn't. It's got gills. This one over here looks like a, nope, also not edible. But these little guys right here, that little finger, that one right there, edible mushroom. Really tasty. I was eating them last night. Flat-topped coral. That guy and that guy. Usually mushrooms are going to grow in bunches. So we'll have to take a look. whatever this is, almost, I feel like I've seen this one before. I feel like this guy's edible, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that one up. We're gonna snag a screenshot so we can check it out later. So yeah, we're just enjoying looking at the edible mushrooms in the forest. Those flat-topped coral, here's a bunch more. Here's a whole whack more of the flat-topped coral. So this is an edible mushroom. I got a whole bunch over there. So I'm gonna have to take my kids back here later and let them harvest all of these. These are all edible. I find the flat-topped coral does really well in mossy conditions. And so you get a whole bunch of them growing in here where there's the moss. And once your eyes learn how to spot mushrooms, you always manage to spot them. So I find what the best thing to do, for me personally, what I do is I learn 1 to 2 mushrooms a year that are edible. I try to learn a couple a year. I don't want to overwhelm myself, and I want to really know them because I want my brain to key in. What's fascinating when you start foraging, when you start hunting for mushrooms, and you guys have probably known this just in your daily life, but what happens is your brain, once you teach it, sorry, getting a phone call and that interrupts the stream. When your brain recognizes something for the first time and you start to learn to identify it, you realize that you'll see it all over the place. For example, if you've ever seen the logo on it, also cuts us out of the stream. If you guys have ever seen a truck with a certain logo, and let's say one of your friends gets a job there, you start to recognize those trucks driving around your city all the time. Before that, your brain just filtered it out. You never noticed that truck. Same thing happens with mushrooms. When you learn how to identify a specific mushroom, all of a sudden your brain just picks them up everywhere. You probably would have thought, I've never seen this mushroom before. I had no idea it grew in this forest. It's always grown there. Your brain is just a very good filter. Your brain has just said, we don't know what it is. It's not worth paying attention to. It's probably poisonous. Let's just ignore it. But once you learn, your eyes start to pick them out. So morels, chanterelles, lobster mushrooms, boletes, tooth fungus, flat-topped coral, hedgehog mushrooms. I've walked past all of those mushrooms thousands of times, never seen them. But now that my brain knows what to look for, I see them everywhere. And it is just a joyous experience. We are exiting into the back forest or field. And I think we're just going to turn around and take the trail back because it's so sunny. This is the back half of my property. Right back here. Oh, this is the back fields. The lake is on the other side of that tree line. Quite a ways, but it's on the other side of that tree line. And then it's also, the lake goes all the way around, back to the beginning. So this is the back half of our fields. I generally don't put my cow back here, just because it's harder to keep eyes on her. I like to see her. But in the fall, in another month, we're getting 2 more cows. So I'm going to have to start moving them back here just so that I can use more of the pasture. I just like having eyes on them. That much less, when I move them back here, I got to finish the fencing the rest of the way here. It's that much more fencing I need to pay attention to. I need to maintain. With electric fencing, you don't want to have tree branches falling on it. With the full cattle fencing, you definitely don't want to have weak spots. Cows are more... The full size, like 5-foot cattle fencing, does a better job at keeping the cows in. But they test the fence more often because it doesn't hurt them to push on it. And so the cows will push and rub against normal cattle fencing. Whereas when you're using electric fencing, they will test it, and if it's working, they back away. But if it's not working, they'll push right through it. So there's pros and cons to both. The electric fencing is a lot cheaper. It just requires a little bit more upfront knowledge, a little bit more learning. But I'm pretty excited by all these edible mushrooms here, guys. So all of these guys are flat-topped coral, edible mushrooms. Perfect for the picking. So I will bring my kids back here tonight, probably tonight. Mushrooms don't last that long. I got a whole whack over here. Mushrooms don't last that long. The fruiting body, the fruiting body of these mushrooms probably only stays edible and good for about 4 to 5 days. And so these guys are probably already halfway through their cycle. If I waited to the weekend, they would be no good anymore. So we got to pick them probably this afternoon. These flat-topped coral, they shrink a lot when you cook them. And so it's not really worth your time to pick a couple of them. You're going to want to pick as many as you can to make it worth cooking. What I find with them is about half of them will be no bueno. About half of them will have bugs in them. So you're going to lose half of your harvest to bugs. And then the other half is going to shrink by half. So whatever you pick, you're only going to get about a 25% yield. So it is good to pick more than you think you're going to want. And Matthew said we were loading and barbed wire. Are we back now, Matthew? We're heading back towards better cell service. Sometimes what happens, guys, is when I get a phone call or a voicemail while I'm streaming, it'll kick me out of the stream, but it doesn't tell me that. And so it'll be loading for you guys, but good for me. And so sometimes I need to swipe away and swipe back to figure out if our stream is still good. That usually works. And Matthew asked about barbed wire. Usually you'll put a strand of barbed wire around the top of your cattle fencing, just to help give them that little bit of a poke so that they don't push through it. But I have found that cows, if they really want out, they don't care. They're going to push through that barbed wire. It's not going to stop them. So you got to make sure you're rotating them into better fields. You're making sure your cows aren't hungry or thirsty. And you're spending time with them, making sure that they're feeling loved and not agitated. Even I have my closest neighbor is a commercial cattle farmer. And every once in a while, his cows will be upset. They'll test the fence, they'll break out, and I got to help them round them up. It happens even to the full-size commercial guys. So this is something that I think a lot of homesteaders would like to hear. Even the big guys, those of us who have been doing it for years, we all are going to experience at some point in time some failure. We're going to have some sort of headache or issue. We're going to have predation or a sick animal. We're going to have an unsuccessful birth. We're going to have something go wrong. It doesn't mean that's a fail on your part by any means. That is just part of it. Even these full-scale farmers have their issues. You know, my neighbor, Womb Lily, oh, you almost took me out. Even my neighbor, who's a full-scale farmer, had a group of foxes go in and devastate their duck population. And so we made a farm-to-farm trade. We moved our cow into their herd for a month so that she could get pregnant, and we gave them a bunch of ducks in exchange. And so, mutually beneficial arrangement. Repopulate their duck supply, breed our cow. Let's carry on through here, back towards the property. Goats, I want you guys back on this side. I don't want you guys wandering down the road. Some of the goats are being nice. We got some spider webs on the camera. There we go, we're back out towards the house. Come on, goats. Mimi. Hi, goats. I'm not a fan of the goats hanging out by the apple orchard because it's only a matter of time before they try to get in there and they could potentially start nibbling on our plants. And we do not want them nibbling on our plants. No, no, no. Hey, Faye. How you doing, big girl? How's Faye doing? Hey, goats, come on this way. Are you guys gonna come back? They're only gonna come if I start walking. Maple's testing it. Maple's the one closest to us. She's like, I took a few steps, but nobody's following me. Come on, Maple. Come on, girl. Good girl. Come on, Maple. Good girl. Evie. Evie's coming. Now they're starting to come. Come on, guys. Come on, Evie. And Jericho says, looked like a drive-in with speaker boxes. What looked like a drive-in? What are we talking about, Jericho? What's that mean? Looked like a drive-in with speaker boxes. That enclosure? Are you, oh, this right here? This, those are 2 drums full of water. These drums are full of water. And that is how we water the apple orchard. We got a couple soaker hoses, and so we pump water up from the lake into the drums and then let it flow out into the garden. And Darlene says, the old drive-in movies. And Derek asks, do you have drive-in movies in Canada? We do during the summer months. We don't during the, let's face this way so we're out of the sun for you guys. Or are you talking about this one back here? That enclosure back there? So the, yeah, we do have drive-in movies in the summer in some small towns. It's kind of a more farmy thing. It's a little easier, a little more accessible nowadays because, you know, you can have a projector and a big screen. So a little less maintenance on a setup. It's a little more affordable. So usually they're done kind of privately in people's backyards and just as a community event, but they do occur sometimes. So you're telling me that I need to make one of the walls of my sea can set up with a projector so that we can watch movies outside. That's a good idea. That right there, that's why Jericho's an innovator, thinking outside the box. I rented the Minecraft movie the other day to watch with my children, and it was actually pretty good. I like Jack Black. The plot was a little bit nonsensical, but it was meant to be nonsense. It was supposed to be goofy and loosey and silly, and I think it did a great job. And Jericho says, you could do that. That'd be cool. Just leave this side of the sea can open for a projector. I'm getting my boom truck back. So I got this dropped off today. This was put here today. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab onto the bottom of it with our crane truck. And we're going to drag it over so that it's perpendicular. And then I'm going to build a roof line on it. Probably angled this way. Because the back half I'm going to build more barn. And then this front half will be storage. And I'll probably put the roof angled this way instead of this way so that I could utilize the space up front for my firewood storage. What I do for firewood right now, and it's a really good idea. So what I do is I take these old tote cages. So inside of these cages is typically a plastic tote. I take the tote out and I'm left with the cage. And then I stack all my firewood in here. And this is 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet. And so it's about half a cord of wood, each one of these. And it's got a spot for forks. So I can take the skid steer, drive in, pick it up, move it, and they can be stacked. So you can put one on top of the other. And so my plan is to build a lean-to off of the sea can or some sort of roof so that I can put the wood in there and at least double stack it. And then I can have my year or year and a half worth of firewood all in there. And then I can keep access to the sea can plowed so that I can leave it under there all winter and then just take the totes one at a time and bring them over to the house as I need them. I'm hearing weird birds. Some sort of duck squawking. It sounded like people, but it's definitely birds. Goats! Come on, goats! Let's go back, goats! They'll come back eventually. They're just hanging out by the end of the driveway. And Jericho says, have you had your post-op surgery or post-surgery appointment with the doc? Friday. So I see the doctor on Friday, and fingers crossed we get the green light to start being a little bit more active. I know it's 6 weeks of no bending, lifting, or twisting, and I doubt he's gonna change that. But if everything looks good, if all the imaging goes well, then I know. See, here's my problem. I have a hard time not being busy and staying active and moving around. We've been streaming for an hour and a half. The goal with this surgery was that after 6 weeks, I'd be able to be upright for 30 minutes at a time. We've been moving around live streaming for an hour and a half. So we're doing really good. We're doing really well, but I won't know until Friday when I get some imaging to know if I've been overdoing it or not. I'm banking on the fact that I feel good, so I'd like to think I'm not overdoing it. But Friday's the big day. If the surgeon says everything's healing really good, things are looking good, he might give me the green light to go back to work sooner than I was expecting. That'll be week 3. And I mean, we were expecting 6 weeks. So if we can go back to work after 3, that's not too bad. Even if I start going back to work just part-time, spending half days in the office until I'm feeling good. Either way, I'm feeling a lot better than I thought I would. So this has been a very successful surgery. I'm gonna take you guys in the house for a few minutes. Let's get a glass of water and cool off for a bit because it is hot out here. I don't know if you can see the glistening on my forehead, but I'm starting to show wet. Goats, come on back. Come on, Mimi. Come on, Oreo. Come on, Faye. Come on, goats. Come on back to the house. Come here, goaty, 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 goaty. Come here, Evie. Got to call each of the goats by name and hope that one of them listens and comes. If one comes, they all come. Come on, Faye. Oreo. Mimi. They're coming. They're so coming. Come on, guys. Here they're coming. Come on, goaty, goaty, goaties. Come on, goats. Good, goats. Come on, goats. Just like dogs. And Darlene said, I'm sorry I didn't hear. Did you have your post-surgery appointment? Not till Friday. I'm getting more x-rays and imaging done Friday morning, and I see the surgeon in the afternoon. And so we'll have the results right away, and we'll know how we're healing. Hi, goats. Bye, goats. We're going to go inside and cool down for a bit because it is hot, hot, hot. So yeah, Friday we will know more about how we're healing. We'll find out if I have been overdoing it or if things are looking as good as I feel. So it's one of those things where, you know, I wouldn't say there's times where I'm probably overdoing it because the rules were no bending, lifting, or twisting for 6 weeks. I've been a little more active than that. So I do need to see how it's doing internally. I feel pretty good. I'm still a little sore, but I was expecting to be sore because, you know, I'm not taking pain meds and I had back surgery. But I'm banking on the fact that I haven't been doing any damage and that things are healing. That's what we're going with. We're gonna set up the tripod and you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have a glass of water and we're gonna sit here and we're gonna just chat, hang out, and do some dishes for my wife. Because she is not here right now and she'll be happy if I do some dishes. Just gotta undo this so I can put you into tripod mode. There we go. Tripod mode. Voila. Alrighty. So if anyone has any questions, concerns, plans for the weekend, by all means, I am here to chat. Come next week, we will be officially entered in for ad revenue on the YouTube channel, which will just make making YouTube shorts and long forms that much more exciting. YouTube's already emailed me, but it lags behind by about 5 days. So I am looking forward to that little adventure. I still make lots of YouTube shorts and some long forms right now, but it'll be nice once we are making some ad revenue from that. And Derico says, I didn't see a short. Did you find out what the orange mushroom was? Yes, Derico, you are on the ball. I'm going to make a short and a long form video about it, but I actually found 2 different edible mushrooms. The one that we found in the forest just now, the flat-topped coral, is growing all over the forest, so I harvested a whole bunch of that. And that other mushroom, the orange one, when I had to end the stream before announcing what it was, that one there is a saffron milk cap, also known as a Lactarius delicious, or a deliciosus if you want to be fancy. And so by the name, Lactarius deliciosus, you can tell that is a delicious edible mushroom. The cool thing about the Lactarius deliciosus is that it has one close look-alike, the false Lactarius delicious, but it is also edible and very good. So this one was the true Lactarius deliciosus. I don't have as many on the property, but they are scattered around. And I have a really cool video coming to show you the transformation from a Lactarius deliciosus to a lobster mushroom. I found a Lactarius deliciosus beside a half parasitized lobster mushroom, beside a full lobster mushroom. And so the lobster mushroom, there's a parasitic fungus that takes over the Lactarius mushrooms and transforms it into a lobster mushroom. Lobsters are a choice edible. Lactarius delicious are a choice edible. And so it was cool to find all three to show how it goes from this to this to this. And so I've got footage of that, and I will share that video in the next couple days here. Usually what I'll do right now, my schedule has been, I'll do a live stream on one day, and then I'll make a long form or a short the next day, and then a live stream again the next day. And that gives me a little bit of a break in between live streams. Just because while I'm still healing, being up and about and on camera this long does tire me out. And so I like to have a break in between, and that's when I'm taking some time to edit videos and just go out there and spend some time with my kids and find more stuff to take videos of, more edible mushrooms. Yesterday, I took my goats and my dog and my kids down to the beach on the south side of our property, and it was the first time I've taken the goats all the way down to the water. And Lily loved it because Lily was able to chase the goats around, but whenever the goats were going to chase her back, she would just go into the water, and the goats do not like going in the water. And so she was having a lot of fun playing tag with the goats. Yeah, it was a jolly good time. My kids, I was not planning on going to the beach. I was planning on just hanging out in the forest, harvesting mushrooms with my kids. But then we were getting so close to the beach, I thought, why not? It was a nice day. And so it was really cute. All of my kids stripped down to their underwear, ran in the lake. They were playing in the lake for about 10, 20 minutes. And then we gathered up and we came home, brought all the goats back. And it was just a lot of fun. It was really, it felt really nice on the soul to be in the forest with my kids, with the goats, with the dog, and everyone just having a good time. And is that triangle to call everyone for dinner? Yes, it is. This is the kids are outside and it's dinner time. You hold this up to the window. And then it doesn't matter where on the property the kids are. That's how you call them. You'll just hold it up to whatever window. If they're back there. Because we've got so much property and we let the kids go and enjoy it. If the kids are out with the ducks or something, you just hold it up to the kitchen window and bang it and the kids come running in. That is the dinner bell. That is the dinner bell. Often when we're out in the yard just playing and doing stuff, we don't have our phone with us. And so if my wife wants to call me and the kids in, it's just ring the bell and we all come running in because we know it's dinner time. And dinner time is like plates are served. If you don't get here now, you're eating cold pasta. So it's run now. Yeah, it's one of those kind of like old-timey, old-school things that is just so enjoyable to have on the homestead. A dinner bell. My wife, her grandparents had a very large house. Here's a fun story about my wife's grandparents' first house. My wife's grandfather was a doctor and her grandma was a nurse. And so they were very well-to-do. Her grandpa is now 90. Her grandma is deceased. So that kind of gives you a timeline of their age. And so back in the day, healthcare in Canada wasn't socialized. It was private. And often people couldn't afford to pay for healthcare. And so what my grandfather-in-law would do is he had a little medical table and stuff set up at his house. And if someone, say, needed a cast on a broken arm, he would get them set up and they would get taken care of at his house. And after he casted their arm, after their arm was healed, once they were ready, he would have a project at the house for them to do. And so you would trade, if you don't want to trade money, you trade labor. We're talking the old school, like you want to see a doctor, when you're healed, you're going to come back and you're going to help paint his fence. It was a small town, so you could get away with this kind of stuff. And so that's kind of how he ran his home doctor practice. It was like, if it was gardening season, okay, well, I gave you some antibiotics for that pneumonia, so when you're all better, you're going to come back and you're going to help me weed the garden. That kind of stuff. Anyway, long story short, they built a house, custom house, which was absolutely beautiful. Back in the day, I mean, it was a little more affordable to build these gorgeous, massive houses because labor was cheap. And, you know, if you're a doctor fixing up all the carpenters every time they cut themselves, you can afford cheap carpentry. And so they had a house built, beautiful house. It was 4 stories tall. And it had a beautiful spiral staircase from the basement all the way up to the top level. And it was gorgeous. And because it was so big, they had installed an intercom system. And the intercom system went through all 4 stories of the house and outside. And I remember my grandmother-in-law telling this story. Maybe I shouldn't share this, but it's funny, and I think she'd appreciate it from heaven. She was telling this story where she was in the bathroom, and she had these intercoms in all the bathrooms everywhere because, you know, she had 7 children. So she had, I think, 3 of her own kids, and then they had adopted 4 more. So big house, 7 children, outside, inside. And she didn't realize there's a switch to turn on the PA system to go outside or inside. And she's inside on the toilet, and someone had used the last of the toilet paper. And so she's calling on the PA system saying, "Can someone bring me toilet paper? I'm in the bathroom. I need toilet paper. Someone bring me the toilet paper." Meanwhile, she's broadcasting this outside to the city streets. And a funny, embarrassing moment. But smart to have a PA system built into your house when you have such a large house with so many children. Our PA system is the triangle bell. It's a little less embarrassing. We also don't live in town, so there's no neighbors. But I really vibe with that old school, you know, trading favors, trading labor, people helping each other out, using the skills you have. The small town community, you know, where everyone can kind of be trusted. This is part of the problem I have with the current way we treat the homeless and drug epidemic. It's like, unfortunately, up here in Canada, there's so many labor laws that, let's say I've got a homeless person and they do come up to me as my business and they're asking to work for me, to do some work for money. I can't hire them because A, if they don't have a home address and a social security number and stuff, I can't hire them. But I can't even, if I don't want them actually on the payroll and I just want to pay someone to do some work, it's really dang hard because the Ministry of Labor can come over, see someone working on my property and fine me for having someone who's not covered under my insurance doing labor. And I really wish, instead of people standing on the side of the road, I wish we had more buskers, more people playing music, or more people, you know, asking, "Can I cut your grass?" or can I paint your fence? I would be so much more willing to give that person money than someone who is just sitting with a hat and a sign saying, "Give me money." I wish it was easier. I wish our community was a little nicer, friendlier. I mean, in the cities. Out here in the country, you do get a lot of people just helping each other because we all want to thrive and everyone wants to, you know, be good to each other. I just wish in the cities that it was more like that. You know what I mean, guys? And Derico says, Dolly Parton tells the story about how her dad paid for her delivery by the doctor with a couple sacks of corn from their farm. The good old farm trades. Yeah, I have a hard time personally with it to some extent. I'm a stubborn man and I don't like owing favors. If someone's going to do a favor for me, I want to pay it back right away. I have a hard time accepting favors. I really shouldn't because this is just great community building. I just have a hard time. I'd rather be doing favors for people than receiving favors from people. It's part of my stubbornness. It's part of my ego. It's definitely a part of me. I need to be more willing to let go. And Matthew says, why don't Gabby got a cow? Doesn't she have a cowbell? Why doesn't Gabby have a cowbell? I really don't know. See, I don't think there's much reason to have a cowbell. Our fields aren't that massive that I can't find her. The only benefit to having a cowbell would be is if I let her more into the forest, because then if I want to track her down or see her, I can just go in the forest and listen for her. I honestly don't even really know the full purpose of a cowbell. The only thing I could think of a real good purpose for a cowbell being is if you have one cow that is much, much more willing in a herd to come, then you might want to put a bell on her so that when she starts moving, all the cows perk up and they all start coming. I don't think you really, I don't know. Maybe someone can Google what's the purpose of a cowbell and see if I'm just missing the point. My guess would be it would make herd control easier. And Derico says, yeah, I imagine you could put a GPS device on animals to locate them if lost. I thought about putting Apple AirTags on the goats if they were getting into the forest. But the goats are so much like dogs. They come when I call them. It's never been an issue. I had a cow that was an escape artist, and she would go hiding in the forest lots. But instead of putting a tracker on her, I ate her. So yeah, it's kind of how we treat those nuisance animals. Rather than putting a GPS tracker on them, you just eat them. So that's a thing. That's a thing. One thing I have is I have a trail cam in the bush, and it's a really good trail cam. But the thing with it is it's one that you have to go up to. And really good feature is that you can wirelessly download the footage. A lot of them you have to pull the chip. But at some point down the road, maybe I'll get a couple GPS trackers, like one in the chicken coop, one in the duck house, where I could have live feed to me. Maybe in like the barn. It'd be nice when the goats are giving birth to have a GPS, like a satellite camera looking at them, so I can just log in from my phone and just check in on them every once in a while to make sure that there's no baby goats in the barn. Things to think about down the road. And Derico says, yeah, I already read that. Yeah, one thing we're planning on doing is we're planning on building our next house a little further south on the property. But this house is in such a perfect location for the farm. Looking out the window, like I can just look out the kitchen window, I can see the ducks, I can see the chickens. I'm close enough to hear if there's a commotion out there. So this really is in a great spot for the farm. So I'm gonna have to do some real good thinking and planning when I build the next house to make sure that we still have good proximity and could still see the farm well. I gotta try to, you know what I wanna try to do? I wanna try to convince my wife to let me get a drone, like a good drone. Like one of those drones that you put the goggles on. So if we build our house further south, or if we're out on the beach, I can just fly the drone over to the farm and check out all the animals. In my head, that sounds awesome. In reality, it would probably scare the hay out of all the animals, but it would be fantastic. You were about to ask about a drone? Yeah, I'm pretty pro technology. Like we live off-grid and minimalist in our house, but I think certain technologies like drones are such a fantastic and useful tool. You know, there's a lot of rules in Canada. Like if I want to go hunting, I'm not allowed to use a drone to assist me in my hunt. That being said, who's going to stop me out here on my property if I set a bait pile out in the field and I just wanted to fly up and see if there's anything out there? Rather than having to walk out there, it would be nice. It would be nice. Paul, how you doing, Paul? We are just chilling and chatting. We were out with the ducks, chickens, and rabbits and everyone, and right now we're just hanging out doing some dishes, trying to keep the homestead clean. Just having a jolly good time. We were just talking about drones. That drone technology is looking pretty sharp nowadays. The headset drones. Plus, imagine the footage that you could capture. Some YouTube shorts and longs. Yeah, you can make some fantastic videos. Maybe at some point what I'll do is when I'm feeling ready to start advertising donations and really pushing for some YouTube money, or if a video just ever blows up and does well, because we're going to get, starting next week, we'll start getting ad revenue. Paul, I'll tell you a little bit about the property in 1 second, my friend. But once we start getting the ad revenue and stuff, if any video ever blows up, maybe we'll use that money towards a BA drone. My wife hates the idea of more technology on the homestead, but Drones are so cool. We got an Inapra. Oh, I can show Dangel T. I have a filter on, guys, so potentially inappropriate comments get blocked, and I gotta manually review them. How you doing, Dangel? We're just chilling out on the homestead. So to tell you guys a little bit about my homestead and YouTube channel. Right now I'm just doing dishes, which is kind of boring. Sorry, guys, but we're chatting, we're hanging out, we're having a good time. I have goats, ducks, chickens, rabbits, cows. I had pigs, but I just sent them to the butcher. I live on a 156-acre homestead. I'm off-grid, so that's why there's no lights on right now, just to keep the power up. We're off-grid on a lake. My property is a 156-acre peninsula in the far north in Canada. I have a beautiful beach on the south side of my property. In fact, if you check out my YouTube short from yesterday, I took my goats for a walk to the beach. And that was actually their first time going to the beach with me. I've never taken them that far. And so it was a really enjoyable time. I'm doing, in the fall, like right around now, I do a lot of mushroom foraging videos. But really the focus of this channel is live streaming and homesteading. We are just chilling on the homestead, chatting with you guys, having a jolly good time. So if you guys won't have any questions, concerns, plans for the week, now's your time. We are just chatting and hanging out. I am basically all eyes. I can't say ears because you guys can't talk through here. One day, I'm sure there will be like a Twitch feature. So on vertical live streams like this, I can't do any add-ons. On horizontal, you can, but horizontal, you don't get that feed. You don't get the, if you're doing a horizontal live stream, you're only really advertising to your subscribers. You're not advertising to the greater community. So it's hard to build a community on horizontal. But on horizontal, you've got those kind of Twitch features where you can do add-ons, like when someone makes a text, it could read it out loud. Maybe eventually YouTube will get there. It's always adapting. Paul says, wow, just what you need in this age of tyranny. That was a big part of it, my friend. I got this place 2 years ago because, you know, there were so many restrictions and rules in place at the time. And one of the things is we had a beautiful house, my wife and I. I have 5 children. That's a fly swatter. I have 5 children, and my wife, we were living in town, beautiful big house on a lake. And the problem was we wanted to be in town so that we could be close to all the different services for our children. The pool, the parks, the playgrounds, all that. During the big CVID word, that all shut down for like 2 years up here in Canada. And so we were in town not getting all those services. And during that time, the epidemics and homelessness kept getting worse and worse. And we were in a beautiful neighborhood. Even then, I had to chase people out from fighting on my front lawn in the this and the this. And it was getting crazy. Up here in Canada, they were going harder trying to give people fines for violating COVID restrictions than they were for open drug use. It was getting wild. And so we decided to get out of town. And so here we are. BTGF says, what is homesteading? So homesteading is basically self-sustenance farming. It's not farming because you're not really making money. You're not really selling the animals. You're not registered or licensed. But homesteading is building the structures, having the ducks, having the chickens, having the cows, having the goats, having all the animals that a farm might have, but just enough for you, just enough for your family. Homesteading is basically trying to get back to the roots, focusing on foraging and maybe fishing, if you're into it, hunting, gardening, raising livestock, if that's your thing. It's basically just trying to focus on the family. Homesteading is focusing on the family, trying to build towards self-sufficiency. Matthew said, there's TTS service in vertical live streams now. Talk to text service in vertical lives now? Can you elaborate, Matthew? I'm not sure I know what this means. Like it can read it back to me? I haven't seen that feature yet. And so yeah, I hope that answers your question of what is homesteading. It's basically just getting back to the roots, living like a pioneer with a little more comfort. I do it one step further. Where we are also off-grid. And so we, not only are we roughing it, the homestead life. We're also off grid, so we got to be very mindful of all of our electricity use, hence why I don't have any lights on right now. And we got to take it easy. Ibrahim, how are you, my friend? I am doing well. I'm just finishing up some dishes for my wife before she comes home from the pool. And Paul says, I love plants. I'm staying here in Ecuador for a while. I'm from the UK. Very cool, Paul. That is very cool. I assume it is quite warm in Ecuador today. Up here where I am in northern Canada, it was around 0 degrees Celsius. I'll talk Celsius because you're from the UK. It was around 0 degrees on the weekend, and now I had the wood stove going for a couple days. The wood stove over in the corner, and then it warmed right back up, and now it's like probably close to 30 degrees Celsius out here. And Paul says, I'm always collecting seeds. I have grown quite a few little plants just from collecting seeds from my cucumbers and my apples. It's a lot of fun. I'm really big into mushroom foraging, so I spend a lot of time out in the forest looking for mushrooms. So we have so many edible mushrooms on the property. The ones that I have that I know about on the property, and I'm sure there's more, I have violet chanterelles, I have scaly hedgehog and hedgehog, I have morels, I have boletes, which is a bunch of different types, boletes. I have flat-topped coral. I have saffron milk caps. I have, what else? What else? I'm sure I've got chicken of the woods out there. I just haven't found it. Pheasant tail mushrooms. There's just so many. There are just so many, and they're all delicious. Puffballs. I've been finding puffballs out there. Puffballs are fun. And Ibrahim says it is 36 degrees here in Dubai. That's hot. And Paul says it is very hot. The air conditioning is on. That's one of the things we don't have on the off-grid homestead. Air conditioners are a huge power hog. And so I don't have an air conditioner. We just get hot. I like the heat. I don't mind. I don't get too hot. I don't mind the heat. My wife hates it. I try to remind her we live on a lake. So if she ever gets too hot, she can just go jump in the lake. Just out that window is a lake. But yeah. And Matthew said, there's a YouTube channel that I won't name that every time he receives a super chat, the text-to-speech bot will read the text. I've received a few super chats, but it hasn't done text-to-speech. So I wonder if he's using an add-on. Is this person out and about like this, or are they at a desk? Because I know there are programs you can use that you can enter into vertical live stream from a computer where you can still have the add-ons. So you can go into the settings on the program, still make it a vertical stream so you can get into the vertical live stream, but you can use all of the Twitch features. And Paul says, I've been here since November, dread returning to the UK. How long are you allowed to stay? I know a lot of places up here, you're only allowed to stay for you're only allowed to leave your home country for 6 months less a day. So just 1 day less than half a year. So up here, unless you get special grants and permits, you can't be gone from Canada for more than 6 months without permits if you want to remain a citizen. Tricky business. I know some people who have businesses who are from India but have businesses here, and they have to trade off owners. There'll be two owners. One will come up for 6 months less a day and then switch with the other one because they're not allowed to be in Canada for more than 6 months. And Paul said, I did go checking for birch polypores in England. An older guy took me. He's into all natural medicines. I have a bunch of birch polypores. I just haven't done any homework on what they're good for. I assume that they're good in a tea. I assume you would dehydrate a birch polypore and you would make it in tea. I have a bunch in the forest. I was just looking at them the other day, but I haven't done any homework on what they're good for. And Matthew says, and there's Angel to Up, a yo-yo channel that also has that feature. Well, Matthew, I'll have to look into this because it would be a lot nicer if when I get a super chat, if it read it out loud for me. That would be a nice feature kind of for everyone watching. And Paul said, Well, I renewed my visa, but they told me I had to pay $400 if I remained. I see. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit tricky. It's a little tricky if you want to leave your home country. I understand, you know, they want the taxes and the GDP and everything to stay within the country. They want people just cruising around. But I think if you're young and adventurous, that's the time to do it. Travel the world. But if you're out traveling, it's kind of hard to work as well. So, tricky business. But as long as you're making the most of it and you're enjoying yourself and you're building memories, that is awesome. And Tyrannical T-Rad says, if I was Canadian, I would say a lot. I do say a lot, but I don't think I say a as much as some people would assume. And I feel like I subliminally tone it down when I'm on live stream. Generally, you try to pronunciate your words a little more clearly when you're talking to people. A little bit like mumble talk. My wife tells me that I mumble, and I like to think it's just wax in her ears because I think I talk pretty clearly. But, hi, Horntail. My rooster is looking at me through the window. They've made this little dirt patch right there for making dirt baths. So they'll kick up the dirt to clean themselves. This is my rooster. One of them. I've got two, but he's the alpha. He is the alpha. Quinn! Cock-a-doodle-doo, my friend. How are you? And Tyrannical T-Red says, I would say, I'll boot. I will boot that, my friends. Eh? We having a good day, eh? How about that weather? Pretty nice there, eh? Something like that. I honestly really enjoy the rooster. I know some people will say roosters can be annoying because they're always letting out that cock-a-doodle-doo. I enjoy it. It's such a natural, earthy tone. I don't know, man. I've only had the chickens. Oh, boy. I've only had the chickens for like 4 months, 5 months. But I like the rooster. He's my homeboy. I like him. He's not a mean rooster, which is nice. One of the things we did is we had a handful of roosters, and we had to butcher some of them because you only want to have one rooster for every 10 chickens. So you don't want to have too many roosters. And so we just kind of spent a bit of time with the different roosters to figure out which ones were the nicest. And basically, if they pecked at you, they were on the butcher block. And so we were left with a couple really nice roosters. Nobody's got time for a troublesome rooster. And Quinn says cock-a-doodle-doo. And I'm good. Tyrannical T-Rad says, my family only raised horses in Arizona, but we did have some chickens and turkeys. That's not only horses then, that's horses, chickens, and turkeys. And Paul says, I get a rooster here every morning too, in the middle of the Guayaquil? I have no idea what that means, my friend. The Guayaquil? The Guayaquil? Sounds like a type of bird. Or a very bad typo. But yeah, I haven't done any horses yet. We're looking at getting donkeys next year. At least one. We'll start with probably a Jenny, a female donkey. And then we'll give it a year or two. And then we'll think about getting a male jack to breed. The problem with jacks is they can be a little bit aggressive with the other animals and with people. I mean, their job is to go out and kill foxes and keep the animals safe. But you do got to watch them. They can get a little bit testy with your goats and stuff. I like the idea of breeding donkeys because there's not a lot of people up here who do it. And so it'd be nice to be one of the providers. We breed all the other animals. So I feel like we'd be able to figure it out. We're going to get some more pigs next year and we will breed them. I think eventually we will get horses, but I want to wait. How do I say that, Paul? Guayaquil? Guayaquil is a city in Ecuador. Okay, Guayaquil. And when you say you get some roosters here every morning, you mean like they make a bunch of noise? They wake up the neighborhood? I like them. My rooster tends to start making noise around 4:30 in the morning. It's a little bit early, but I don't mind. I don't mind. We're normally getting up around 5:30 anyway, so it's like an early alarm clock. My wife is a maniac, and she changed her phone alarm to being ducks quacking, and she didn't tell me. And the other day, she set off an alarm for 4:30 in the morning because she's a maniac. And all of a sudden, I just heard this I had my bedroom window open, and I heard this really loud quacking going on. And I thought for the life of me that a fox or something was getting into the duck house. And so I jumped out of the bed and started looking out the window, and my wife's saying, like, what are you doing? I'm like, something's got the ducks all in a hiffy. And she's like, oh, that's just my alarm. Who does that? Who sets an audible alarm that sounds like your farm animals at 4:30 in the morning? Some people's children, I tells you. I caught my wife one time. My wife is an angel, by the way. But I caught her one day. It was 3 in the morning, and I wake up and the oven's on. And so I go and I nudge her and I say, hey, like, do you know you have bread you put bread in the oven at 3 in the morning? She's like, yeah. I'm like, when's it gonna be done? She's like, around 4. I'm like, you set an alarm? She's like, no. I'm like, well, how are you gonna know when the bread's done? So I'll wake up. I'm like, not a chance she's gonna wake up. So I stayed awake from 3 in the morning till 4 in the morning, and then I pulled the bread out. She did not wake up until 7 in the morning. There was no way she was waking up for that bread. She was dead to the world. Her response later when I asked her about it was, oh, I would have woke up when I smelt it. Yeah, when you smelt it burning. Maniac, I tells you. And Paul H. says, Steve Irwin, the Aussie guy who died. What about Steve Irwin? His son is doing a bunch of the same stuff. And I read something the other day. It was probably just being internet. My rooster's just going for a run. But apparently Steve Irwin's wife never dated again after he passed away because she had the love of her life, so she didn't want to try again. I don't know if this is true, but it was a romantic gesture. I tell my wife, if I die, remarry right away. Get someone with money. You marry for love the first time, marry for money the second time. If I ever pass away, I need some dollar bills to take care of my kids. That's some advice. I had an employee who was looking for love, and she was trying to figure out, in today's world, in our small kind of area, how do you go around meeting other single people? Like, she's older, she doesn't know about the apps that are out there. And I told her, here's what you got to do. You got to shop the obituaries. At this point, you're 50 years old. You've already married for love. That either didn't work out or tragedy struck. You've already done that part. Now you got to shop the obituary page. That is where you're going to marry someone. You find someone, you got to shop around a little bit. You look at the obituary page for, let's say, a recently deceased lady. Find out if they were married and find out if they had kids. If not, that is your dating app, the obituary page. Is that too morbid? Is that too morbid to talk about on live stream? And Paul says, in a video about iguanas here in Guayaquil, you can hear him pronounce Guayaquil. Am I even close? Am I anywhere close? Guayaquil? Is the G a hard G or a J? Is it Guayaquil? Guayaquil? Is it a G or a J sound? We will get to the bottom of this. Drain the water a little bit. Well, I think that's all the dishes I'm going to do. I didn't do them all, but I need to go sit down for a bit. I had spinal surgery 2 weeks ago, for those of you who are just joining. And so I'm doing really good considering spinal surgery. We have been streaming for 130 minutes, but it's been a lot of standing. So I need to get off my feet and sit down for a little bit so we can have a little seat, drink some water, and chill a little longer. We're going to keep this live stream going until my wife and kids come home. So we'll keep chatting for a while longer. I don't know when they'll be home, but when I hear them roll up, that's when we'll end the stream. I'm going to set you guys here for 1 second while I go grab a glass of water. Maybe if I still have it. Yes, I do. We'll add a shot of Mio. Okay. Sit down for a second and chat with you guys. Let's kick this chair out of the way so I can put you guys right there. There we go. Oh, maybe someone will think that this is a piano live stream. And so I got off on a tangent. S-O-Z-Y, Guayaquil. Guayaquil? That's how they say it here, Guayaquil? But Mr. Irwin pronounces it way off in YouTube. I mean, that would have been me. Those are tricky things. So even if you spend the time and you learn from the locals how to pronounce words in different languages, if it's not your native tongue, if it's not your primary language, in the heat of the moment, it's going to be hard to remember that and do the recall. So especially back in the day, old school TV, when a lot of it, not all of it was digitally recorded, I don't think you're going to do multiple take after multiple take every time you just pronounce a word wrong. Sometimes you're just going to do it phonetically, and it is what it is. At least in the digital world, you can do retakes. It's easier nowadays to use YouTube and how to pronounce Guayaquil. Guayaquil. Guayaquil? Something like that. Oh. I woke up this morning with a kink in my neck. And as much as when you got a kink in the neck, you want to rub the side that's kinked. But when I was talking to my massage therapist, they were saying it's really the other side. The reason that side's tight is because it's compensating for this side. It feels off. It feels like it shouldn't be that way. But I suppose it makes some sense. So whenever you've got like a sore back on this side, it's because this side's knotted, not necessarily this side. Fun little possibly useful piece of information. Another fun fact for those who are just joining. I had not shaved my beard for over 9 years. I had trimmed it, but it was quite the bushy beard. And so about a month ago, this is probably close to 3 weeks, maybe a month, about a month. This is about a month of growth. I do trim it still. I used a buzzer to keep it all short because this grows in beautifully. I can grow a sick goatee super fast, but the cheeks lag behind. They take a while. And so, yeah, I got to keep this all trimmed short until this catches up. But I hadn't shaved in 9 years. So my big bushy beard, it was quite the shock. I'm 33 and I looked 43. Like, especially with all the grays in it, my beard was big and getting gray. Quite the change, realizing I still have a bit of a jawline. It was fully engulfed in beard. And it was always fun. What I do is I tend to, when my hair starts getting a little longer than this, I usually buzz it down. And whenever I buzz my hair, my beard feels too long. So usually it's like, I'll buzz my hair and then there'll be more hair on my face than on my head. And it feels off and weird. And so then I'll come and I'll trim the beard right up. And kind of vice versa, let the hair grow, let the beard grow, and then you got to balance. Yeah, I'm still getting used to seeing my face. I know the beard is coming back, but 9 years is a long time to grow a beard. What else can we talk about, guys? Anyone else have anything fun they want to talk about? Any good subjects? Anything interesting going on in the world? I noticed I have been waiting patiently. My phone here, we're streaming from my iPhone. I'm using an iPhone 14 Pro Max. About 2 weeks after I bought it, I dropped it and put a big chip in the corner. And I thought that it would die long before now because the glass is missing in the corner. And it's been missing for 2 years. But it's the little phone that could. And so we've managed to keep going. And I've been waiting until the iPhone 17 to upgrade. And so they just announced, I think yesterday, the iPhone 17 release. It looks pretty good. Looks like it's got a long life. And Darlene says pre-order for the 17 Pro Max is Friday. I saw that. And then, but I think a week later is regular order. So the pre-order is on the Friday. and then the regular orders not long after that. So I'm planning, hoping, fingers crossed, to upgrade to the 17 Pro Max after this. And I'm gonna maybe probably try to get a beefier case. I could do a very large montage of all the times the goats have knocked over the tripod and put the phone in the mud. I'd like to get a beefier case. Often the cases are pretty small and dinky. I don't like that. I want a case that's going to protect my phone. I had a case on here. I had a glass protector on here, and it fell from this high off the ground and shattered out the corner with a case and with a glass screen protector. So I want a beefier case, one that will protect the phone better. I like to do a lot of stuff where we're out in the forest, we're out bushwhacking, and so I'll probably get a lens cover for the camera. I want to make sure this phone lasts a long time. I want to make sure that it pays the test of time, but I'm pretty excited for it. I see a lot of people are a little up at arms for two reasons. One, they're going with the Pro Max, they're going back to aluminum instead of titanium. So it'll be a little less durable, but aluminum's a better heat sink, so it'll stop it from overheating as much. And then it will, it'll have a much better battery life. So I'm looking forward to that, because one of our big limiting factors is the battery life. The battery on the iPhone 14 Pro Max is really good. We have been live streaming for 136 minutes, but we're getting down to about that 20%. And Matthew says, buy a Rhino Shield case and a screen protector. I will look into the Rhino Shield. If I drop you guys, we're switching back onto Wi-Fi because I'm realizing we're in the house and we're not on Wi-Fi. So hopefully I don't drop you guys, because I should be on Wi-Fi while I'm back in the house. I'm waiting to see if it's going to go to Wi-Fi. Okay, there. Let me flip away and back. Okay, we're back on Wi-Fi. I hope I didn't lose you guys. And Matthew says, Rhino Shield is really, really durable and tough. That's good, that's good. The one thing I don't like about the newest, the newest iPhone, the 17 Pro Max, when you look at it, there's a bump out on the back where the camera is, and then the camera still bump out past that. And so, got to make sure you get something to protect that, especially when you're out in the bush and you're bushwhacking and using it. This camera will be fantastic to continue using as a secondary camera for footage, especially for long form videos, which I want to do more of. Next week, we'll get full access to the ad revenue from YouTube. The Swiss Vapor, welcome back to the chat, my friend. And Quinn says, how are the oinks doing? Unfortunately, Quinn, the oinks have been delivered to freezer camp. They had gotten to size, and the plan with the pigs the whole time was to butcher them. What I'm going to do, this year I got pigs for butchering because I didn't know if I was going to like pigs. Up here in northern Canada, especially living off grid, winter animals are really tough. I got to be bringing water out to them every day. Got to be constantly breaking the ice off of the heated water dishes because it just gets too cold. You got to have insulated shelters for all the animals. And so I didn't want to fully commit this year. I wanted to see how it was going to go. Did I even like raising pigs? The answer, yes. I do enjoy the pigs. They were fantastic. They were a really good animal. They were between 250 and 300 pounds a piece. So they were big. They were big. They were ready to be butchered. And so they're currently at the butcher shop. Next year, I will look towards getting some Berkshire or Yorkshire Berkshire or Tamworth or Berkshire Tamworth cross pigs for breeding. So I'm gonna have to start reaching out to some farmers relatively soon to let them know when they have babies in the spring, not to castrate the boy, because I want to keep an intact male and 2 sows for breeding. And then I'll probably get 3 or 4 more pigs. I got to talk about the right animal. I'll get 3 pigs for breeding and then probably 4 more for butchering. And so that's the plan with my pigs for next year. We will then start doing year-round breeding, and we will always have the food pigs and the pet pigs, the breeder pigs and the food pigs. So that is the plan. That is the plan. And Paul H said, this is a great channel. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. And you joined when we were mostly inside, but normally we are outside with the animals. But I had spinal surgery just over 2 weeks ago, so I needed to sit and just take it easy for a bit. If you know what I mean. So yeah. Wonderful day outside though. Great day to spend some time outside. I had a 50-foot sea can delivered to the property today. So for now, my kids are using it as their scooter park. And then, yeah, maybe next week I will get it into position. I'll rebuild the fencing attached to it. And then we can look towards next year, turning that into a barn and storage area. So I'm pretty excited about the sea can. It's a huge addition to the homestead. No longer will the quads and dirt bikes and riding lawnmower and all the toys have to live outside. They can live sheltered underneath the canopy roof of the sea can. Paul said, my grandfather kept pigs in Ireland. I remember about age 10 going in the big shed, the smell and the noise. So I raise pigs a little different. I raise my pigs in the forest, and I gave my pigs about a half an acre of free range area in the forest. And so there was a smell, but it wasn't that bad because they were able to spread out and, you know, there was more earthy nature to break down the manure and convert it back into nature's nutrients. And so what I'm going to do next year is every year, I'm going to continue to move my pigs further and further down my forest. I have 156 acres. I'm going to continue to move the pigs down the forest so they can continue to clear out the forest and move along and further away from the house. And so it will be nicer and nicer. The pigs themselves don't really smell. It's more the land. So if you're keeping them in small pens or in a barn, they're going to smell because it's the urine. It's all that pee, the poo, all like, even when you're mucking it and cleaning it lots, it's still there. And so, yeah. But if you allow them to free range in the forest, that's going to A, spread over a bigger area, and B, it's going to, oh, Swiss Vapor, phone's almost dead. He's got to get a phone charger. Hurry, run. And yeah, so that's how we do our pigs. A little bit different, forest-raised pigs. And Paul H says, I wish you a speedy recovery. Thank you. So far, it's been going really, really well. I was expecting to be bedridden for 6 weeks. It was really only the first 2 days that I was mostly bedridden. Beyond that, I felt really good. So cheers to modern medicine. The surgeon did a fantastic job. I was just going to say, I'm going to swipe away for 1 second. I want to check my wife's location to see how close she is to the house, to see how long we have. So bear with me 1 second, guys. And I'm back. Okay, we have about 10 more minutes. Okay, guys, so ask any questions. I'm here interacting with you guys. And if you haven't already, double tap the screen to give a thumbs up. That helps. So we got about 10 more minutes before my wife comes home. So Quinn said, when will you get the new baby pigs? I won't get the new baby pigs until the spring. I didn't want to get them right now. So pigs breed twice a year. You can breed your pigs in the fall, and the gestation period, the time that they're pregnant is 5.5 months. And then you want to wait a month or two before you release them from the mom because they're still eating all that nutrients from the mom. So if people are having their babies in about November, they'll be ready for the spring by around March, April. So we'll get them in March or April. There are people having baby pigs right now, but because I just had spinal surgery, I won't be able to build the barn that's going to be needed for them for the winter. I need to build an insulated, not heated, but insulated barn. And so I will have to wait until next year to do that. So we'll get the baby pigs in the spring. Paul says, yes, sounds great, the free range thing. Daniel says, do you wear 100% cotton zip hoodies? I don't know. I have no idea what my hoodies are made of. I'm not the kind of guy to look at the tag. Unless this is a trap, unless this is some sort of YouTube trap, I'm just going to say, sure. I'm not too picky about my clothes. I'm the kind of guy that I'm out here farming and I ruin all of my clothes. So we're just going with like no-name Walmart brand clothes for the most part. Yeah, I did order some awesome shirts off of Amazon that are really, really comfy. So I've got those kicking around somewhere. Daniel, I feel like this is a trap. I'm going to show you it. I'm going to show you one anyway, but I feel like you're leading me on to something. This feels like a trap. I don't know what the trap is, but I'm feeling it. Here you go. This is a hoodie with a zipper, and it is got no tag on it. Wait, maybe it does. No, it doesn't. It's gone. So we're just going to pretend 100% cotton zip-up hoodie. That's about as much as you're getting out of me, my friend. Daniel says, put a hoodie on inside out, then zip it up, then leave it outside. Leave it inside out, please. I'm begging you. I'm really desperate. Daniel, this is a weird fetish. This is a weird fetish. I need to know, what is the trap? Does anyone know what the trap is? There's a trap here. This is a trap. And Paul says, I would never wear polyester. It's airless. Polyester airless? Airless? You guys have me thoroughly confused. Daniel says, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Matthew says, Daniel, careful with what you ask. Matthew, do you know what this trap is? I feel like Daniel's not the first time to tell me to do something weird with a hoodie. The last time someone, I believe the last time someone was trying to get me to do something weird with a hoodie was probably hoping that when I put took the hoodie off, that my undershirt would come off with it. Not because they wanted to see my undershirt, but because they wanted to get me banned for inappropriate content, unintentionally, but intentionally on their end. So we gotta watch these dang traps. Quinn says, can you play the entertainer? Can I play the piano? Oh boy. A little bit. A little bit. My son, my oldest son is really good on the piano. I just know a few things. My son is the pianist. And Sandra says, hey, let's see the goats. Let's go outside. We'll go back outside because we're getting the trolls inside the house. Whenever we come in the house for too long, the trolls come on here. And Sandra, I will take you out to see the goats. We've been sitting long enough. We are feeling rested and recovered. And Matthew says he's always asking that on each live at Daniel, so be careful. And Quinn says, quack. There's a goat right here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, zoom out. Hey, Oreo. Oreo here is pregnant. We expect a baby or 2 or 3 out of Oreo. Any time really, probably by mid next month. Probably a month from now, I expect a couple babies to come off of her. Here are the rest of the goats chilling by the house. Everyone's just chilling. Don't mind the scrap wood mess. I let my children take all of my scrap wood and make little projects with them. And this was like a little lean-to structure, but then, you know, goats. I know, Matthew, it's a trap. Daniel says, just this once, please. I'll never ask again, I promise. If you told me what the trap was, or your reasoning, there might be a chance. You might have a chance at this. But if you don't tell me the why, you will not get the what. And Daniel says, let's leave Daniel, Sandra. We'll leave Daniel. I'm curious as to where this is going. I want to know what the trap is, Daniel. You got to let me know. Otherwise, we got the goats just chilling. Let me go through all of the goats for you guys. Okay, so we've got, these are Alpine Toggenburg goats. These are full-size goats. They are for milk and they provide a large quantity of milk, but it's a low butter fat. So it's not the best for drinking, but it's fantastic for making cheese and yogurt. And so this is Faye and Elsa, mom and baby, Faye and Elsa. Then over here, we have our three of our 4 pygmy goats. The first goat you saw was Oreo. Then we've got Orion. It was supposed to be Orion because he's got the belt, Orion's belt. But he, children. So he's Orion. And Noe, who was supposed to be Noel because she was born at Christmas, but children. So Noel and Bast. So he is half silky, half pygmy. That makes him a quarter silky, and then the rest pygmy. And so these guys are technically meat goats or pet goats. And then we've got Mimi and Evie, who are mini Nubians. There's my wife coming down the driveway. Mini Nubians, they are bred for creamy milk, really good, really tasty milk, good for drinking. And then we have a half fainter, half Nubian. And so she will also be for milk. But my wife just came down the driveway, and so it is time to say goodbye for now. I might be live streaming again later today in the evening, but for now, thank you guys for joining me. We've had a good time. Daniel, you got to explain next time, and we'll get there. But for now, have a good day, guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we will talk again later. So peace out, guys. For now, I got to go see my family.